To the
今
press
天我
briefing
们
from
进行经济
SEIO.
数据例行发布，
Today
我
we
们
are
非常高
releasing
兴
national
邀请
economic
到
data
国家
for the
统
first
计
half of
局
the
新闻
year.
发
We're
言
happy to
人、
have with
国
us
民经济综合统计司司长傅林辉先
Mr.
生，
Fu Linghui,
请他为大家
spokesperson
介
Director
绍
General of the Department of
2023年
Comprehensive
上半年
Statistics of
国民经济运行
NBCS.
情况，并回答大
He
家
will
感兴趣
introduce
的
the
问
national
题。
economic performance of the
下
first
面我
half
们
of
首
this
先
year.
请傅
I
林
can
辉
answer your
先生做
questions.
介绍。
We'll first give the floor to Mr. Fu
谢谢
Linghui.
主持人。
Thank
很
you.
高兴今天上午出席
It's
国
a
新办
pleasure
的
to
新闻发
attend
布会。
this morning's
下面呢，
press
我首
briefing.
先呢还是通报一下
First,
上
I
半年
will
主要经济数据
brief
的
you
情况，
on the
然后
basic
回答大家关心
data
的问题。
of the first half of the year's economic data and then answer your questions.
上半年国民经济
In the
恢
first half
复
of the
向
year,
好。上半年
the
面
national
对复
economy
杂
is
严峻
returning
的国际环境
is
和艰巨繁重的
recovering with
改
great
革
momentum.
发展稳定任务，
Faced with complex and
在
grave
以习近
international
平同志为
environment
核心
and
的党
arduous
中央
tasks to
坚强领导下，
reform, develop,
各地
and
区各
ensure
部
stability
门
at home.
认
Under
真
the
贯彻
strong
落
leadership of
实
the
党
CPC
中
Central
央、国
Committee
务
and
院决
Commerce
策
Xi
部
Jinping
署
at，its core, all
坚
regions and
持稳
departments
中
quickly
求进
implemented the
工作总
decisions
基
made
调
by CPC Central Committee and the
完
State
整、
Council,
准
adhere
确、
to the
全面
principle of
贯
making
彻新发
progress
展
while
理
maintaining
念，
stability,
加
fully
快
and
构
faithfully
建新
apply
发
the
展
new
格
development
局，
philosophy on all
着
fronts,
力推动
accelerated
高质量
efforts
发
to
展，
foster a new development
更
paradigm,
好统筹
focus on
国内
high-quality
国际
development,
两个大局，
better
更好
balancing
统筹
domestic
疫情
international
防控和
imperatives,
经济社会发展，
COVID-19 response
更
and
好
social
统筹
economic
发展
development
和安全，
and development security,
突出做好稳
and
增
give
长、
priority
稳就
to
业、
ensuring
稳物价工
stable
作。
growth, employment and
市
prices.
场需求逐步恢
As a
复，
result, the market
生
demand
产
gradually
供给
recovered,
持续增加，
production supply
就业
continued to
物价
increase,
总体稳定，
employment and price
居
were
民
generally
收入
stable,
平稳增
and
长，
residents'
经济
income
运
grew
行
steadily.
整体回升
National
向好。
economy showed a good momentum of
初步核
recovery.
算，上半年国内
According
生
to
产总
preliminary
值
data,
59万
GDP in the first half year
3034亿
reached
元，按不变价格计算，
59,303.4
同
billion
比
yuan,
增长
up by
5.5%，
5.5%
比一季
year-on-year
度
at
加
constant
快
price,
1个百分点。
or 1 percentage
分产
point
业
faster
看，
than
第一产业增
Q1.
加值
By
3万
industry, the value added of the primary industry was
30416亿元，同比增长
341.6
3.7%。
billion yuan, up by
第二产业增加值
3.7%
23万
year-on-year. Second industry
0682
up
亿
by
元，增
was
长 4.3%。
23,068.2
第
billion
三
yuan,
产业
up
增
by
加值
4.3%.
33万
And tertiary industry was
1937亿元，增长 6.4%。
33,193.7 billion yuan, up
分
by
季度看，一季度国
6.4%.
内生产总
By
值
quarter,
同比
the
增长
GDP grew by
4.5%，二季度增长
4.5% year-on-year in the
6.3%。
first
从
quarter
环比
and
看，二季
6.3%
度
in
国
the
内生
second
产总
quarter.
值
The
环比
GDP
增
in the
长
second quarter was up by
0.8%。
0.8% quarter-on-quarter.
一、
First,
农业生产形势稳定，畜牧
agricultural
业
production was
平稳
stable
增长。
and animal husbandry grew
上半
steadily.
年农业增
In the
加
first
值
half
同
year,
比增长
value added of agriculture
3.3%，
witnessed
夏粮生
a
产再获
year-on-year
丰收，
increase of
全
3.3%.
年
Summer
夏粮
grain
产
had
量
good harvest.
总产
The
量
total output of
1亿
summer grain was
4613万吨，比上年减少
146.13 million tons,
127.4万吨，
1.274
下降
million tons less
0.9%，
than previous year,
产量居历
or
史
down
第
by
二高位。
0.9%, but still the second highest
上
in
半年
history.
猪牛羊禽肉
In the
产
first
量
half year, the output of pork,
4682
beef,
万
mutton,
吨，
and
同
poultry
比
was
增长 3.6%。
46.82 million tons,
其
up
中
by
猪肉、
3.6%
牛肉、
year-on-year.
羊肉、
Of
禽
this
肉
total,
产
the
量
output
分
of
别增
pork,
长
beef, mutton, and
3.2%、
poultry was up by
4.5%、
3.2%,
5.1%、
4.5%,
4.3%。
5.1%, and
牛奶产量
4.3%
增长
respectively.
7.5%，
Output of milk was up by
禽蛋产量
7.5%,
增长
and
2.9%。
eggs grew by
二季度末，
2.9%.
生猪
At the
存
end of the
栏
second
4
quarter,
亿
numbers of pigs registered in
3517
stock
万
was
头，同比增长
435.17
1.1%。
million, up by
上半
1.1%
年
year-on-year.
生猪出栏
In the first
3
half
亿
year, the
7548 万头，增长 2.6%。
there were
二、工业生
375.8
产稳
million
步恢
pigs
复，
slaughtered,
装
up by
备制造业增
2.6%.
长较快。
Second,
上
industrial
半年
production
全国
recovered
规模以
gradually,
上工业
and
增加
equipment
值同
manufacturing
比
grew
增长
fast. Total value
3.8%，
added of
比
industrial
一季
enterprises
度
above
加快
designated size
0.8
grew
个百
by
分点。
3.8%
分三大门类
year-on-year
看，
in the first
采
half
矿业增加
year,
值
or
同比
0.8
增长
percentage point faster than
1.7%，
the first quarter.
制造业
In
增
terms of
长
sectors,
4.2%，
mining increased by
电力、
1.7%
热力、燃
year-on-year,
气及水生
manufacturing
产和
increased by
供应业增
4.2%,
长 4.1%。
production and supply of electricity,
装备制
thermal
造
power,
业增
gas,
加
and water
值
increased
增
by
长
4.1%.
6.5%，
Value
比
added
全
of
部规
equipment
模以上工
manufacturing
业
increased by
快
6.5%
2.7个百分点。
and 2.7 percentage points
分
faster
经济
than
类
the
型看，
industrial
国有
enterprises
控股
above
企业增
designated
加
size.
值同比增长
By types of
4.4%，
ownership,
股份
value
制企
added
业
of
增长 长
holding company
4.4%，
company
外
was up
商
by
及港台商投
4.4%
资企
year on
业
year.
增长
Shareholding enterprises
0.8%，
up by 4.4%.
私营企业
Enterprises
增长
funded by
1.9%。
foreign investors or
分产
investors
品
from Hong
看，
Kong,
太
Macau,
阳
and
能电
Taiwan was up
池、
by
新能源汽
0.8%.
车、工业
That
控制
of
计算
private
机及
enterprises
系
up by
统产量
1.9%.
分
In
别
terms
增
of
长
products, the
54.5%、
production of solar cells, new
35%、
energy automobiles, and industrial control
34.1%。
computers and systems were up by
6月份规模以上工业
54.5%,
增加值
35%,
同比增长
34.1%
4.4%，
respectively. In June,
环比增长
value-added industrial
0.68%。
enterprises above designated
6月
size grew by
份
4.4%
制造业
year
采
on
购
year,
经理指
or
数
up by
为 49%。
0.68%.
企业
month
生
on
产
month.
经营
In
活
June,
动预期指数为
manufacturing PMI stood at
53.4%。
49%, and production and
3.
operation expectation
服务业
index
增
was
长较快，
53.4%.
接触性、聚集
3.
型服务
Service
业
sector
明
grew
显改
fast,
善
and。services involving
上半年
contacts
服
and
务业增
gatherings
加值
improved
同比增
significantly.
长
In the first half year,
6.4%，
value added of
比一
services
季度
went
加
up by
快1个百分点。
6.4% year-on-year, 1
其中
percentage
住
point
宿餐
faster
饮
than
业、
Q1.
信息传输
Specifically,
软件和信息
that
技
of
术服务业、
accommodation, catering,
租
information
赁和商务
transformation,
服务业、
software,
金
information
融业、
technology
批
services,
发和零售业
leasing
增
and
加
business
值
services,
分别增长
financial
15%
intermediation and wholesale and retail grew by
15.9%、
15.5%,
10.1%、
12.9%,
10.3% 和
10.1%,
6.6%。
7.3%, and 6.6%
6月份
respectively.
服务业生产指
In
数
June,
同比
the
增长
index of service production
6.8%，
increased by
其
6.8%
中住
year-on-year.
宿和餐饮业、
The
信息
index
传
of
输、
services
软件和
production
信息
of
技术服务业、
accommodation and catering,
租赁
information
和商务服
transformation,
务业生产
software
指数
information
分别
technology
增长
services, and leasing
20%、
and business services went up by
15.4%、
20%,
9.3%。
15.4%,
1到5月份，
9.3%
全国规模
respectively.
以上
In the
服务
first
业
5
企
months,
业营
the
业
business
收入
revenue
同比增
of
长
service enterprises
8.5%。
above the designated size grew by 8.5%
6月份
year-on-year.
服务业商务活
In
动
June,
商务
the
活动指数
business
为
activity index for services
52.8%，
stood at
业务活动预期
52.8%,
指数为
and business activity
63
expectation index was
60.3%。
60.3%.
其中，航空
Among
运
which the
输、
business
邮政快
the
递、
business activity
电
index
信、
for
广播电
industries
视
like
及
air
卫星传输
transportation,
服
mail
务、
services,
货币金融服务、
telecommunication,
保
broadcast
险等行
television
业
and
商务
transmission
活动指
services,
数
monetary and
均位
financial
于
services, and
60%以上
insurance
的较
were
高景气
within
区间。
the high expansion range of 60% and more.
4. 市场销售
4.
增势较好，
Market
升级
sales
类商
registered
品
good
销售
momentum,
加快。
and sales of upgraded
上半年
goods
社会消
sped
费
up.
品零售总
In
额
the first half year,
22
the
万
total retail sales of consumer
7588
goods
亿元，
reached
同比增长 8.2%，
22,758.8
比
billion
一
yuan,
季度
up by
加快
8.2%
2.4个百分
year-on-year,
点。
2.4
按
percentage
经营
points
单位所
faster
在
than
地
Q1.
分，城镇消费品零
Analyzed
售
by
额
areas,
19
the
万
retail sales of consumer goods in
7532
urban
亿
areas
元，
reached
同比增长 8.1%。
19,753.2 billion yuan,
乡村
up
消费
by
品零售额3万
8.1% year-on-year,
056亿
and that
元，
in rural
增长
areas was
8.4%。
3,005.6 billion yuan, up
按
by
消费类型分，
8.4%.
商品零售额
Group by
20万
consumption patterns, retail sales of
3259
goods
亿
were
元，增长6.8%。 餐饮收
20,325.9
入
billion
2
yuan,
万
up by
4329
6.8%. Income of
亿
catering
元，
was
增长 20.4%。
2,432.9 billion, up by
基本生活类商
21.4%.
品
Goods for
销
basic
售稳
living
定增长，
saw
限额以
stable
上单位
growth,
服装、鞋
with the
帽、针
retail
纺织
sales
品
of
类、
clothes, shoes,
粮油
hats,
食
and
品类
textiles, and
商
of
品零售
grain,
额
oil,
分
and
别增
food
长
by enterprises above
12.8%、
designated size,
4.8%。
up by
升级
12.8%
类
and
商品销售较快
4.8%
增长，
respectively. Sales of
限额以
upgraded
上
goods
单位
grew
金银
fast.
珠宝类、体育娱
Retail
乐
sales
用
of
品类、
good, silver,
化妆品类
jewelry,
商品零
and
售
of
额
sports and
分别
recreation
增长
goods and of cosmetics
17.5%、
went up by
10.5%、
17.5%,
8.6%。
10.5%, and
全国网上零售
8.6%
额
respectively.
7万
The online
1621
sales
亿元，
retail sales
同比
reached
增长 13.1%。
7,162.1 billion yuan,
其
up by
中，实物
13.1%
商品网
year-on-year.
上零售额
The
6
online
万
retail sales of physical goods were
623亿元，增长 10.8%。
6,062.3 billion
占
yuan,
社
up
会
by
消费品零售总额的比
10.8%,
重为
accounting for
26.6%。
26.6% of
6
the
月
total
份社会
retail
消费
sales
品
of
零售
consumer
总
goods.
额同
In
比增
June,
长
the total
3.1%，
retail sales of
环
consumer
比
goods
增
went
长
up by 3.1%
0.03%。
year-on-year, or up by 0.23%
5. 固定资产投
month-on-month.
资持续增长，
Fifth,
高
investment
技
in
术
fixed
产业
assets
投资
continued to
较快
increase,
增长。
and investment in
上半
high-tech
年全国
industries
固
grew
定资产
fast.
投资
In
不
the
含
first
农
half year,
户
the investment in
24
fixed
万
assets, excluding
3113
rural
亿元，
households, reached
同比增长 3.8%。
24,311.3
分领域
billion
看，
yuan,
基
up
础
by
设施投资增长
3.8% year-on-year.
7.2%，
Investment in
制造业
infrastructure
投
grew by
资增长
7.2%,
6%， 房地
manufacturing
产
grew by
开发投资
6%,
下
and
降
that in real estate development
7.9%。
dropped by
全国商品
7.9%.
房销售面
The
积5亿
floor space of commercial buildings sold reached
9515万平方米，下降 5.3%。
595.15 million square meters,
商
down
品
by
房销售额
5.3%.
6
The
万
total sales of
3092
commercial
亿元，
buildings were
增长 1.1%。
6,309.2
分
billion
产业
yuan, up by
看，第一产业
1.1%.
投资
By industry,
增长
the investment in the
0.1%，
primary industry
第
went
二
up
产
by
业投资增长
0.1%, that in secondary
8.9%，
industry up by
第三产业投
8.9%,
资
that
增长
in tertiary industry
1.6%，
up by
民间投
1.6%.
资下降
Private investment
0.2%。
dropped by 0.2%.
高技术产业投资增长
Investment in high-tech
12.5%，
industry grew
其
by
中高技术制造
12.5%,
业和
of
高
which
技
the
术服务业
investment
投
in
资
high-tech
分别
manufacturing
增
and
长
high-tech services grew by
11.8%、
11.8% and
13.9%。
13.9% respectively.
高技术制造业
In terms
中，
of
医疗仪
high-tech
器设备
manufacturing,
及仪器仪表制
investment
造
in
业、
manufacturing medical
电
equipment,
子及
measuring
通信设
equipment,
备制造业投
and
资分
electronic
别
and
增长
communication equipment grew by
16.8%、
16.8% and
14.2%。
12.2%
高
respectively.
技术服务业
In
中，
terms of
专业
high-tech
技术服务业、
services, investment
科
in
技成果
professional
转化服务业投
technical
资
services
分
and
别 年增长
incentives for transformation of
51.6%、
science and technology investment grew by
46.3%。
51.6%
6月
and
份固定资产投
46.3%
资不
respectively.
含农户
In
环
June,
比增长
investment in fixed assets excluding
0.39%。
rural households grew by
4. 货物进出
0.39%
口保持
month-on-month.
增长，
6.
贸易结构继
Imports
续
and
优
exports
化。
of goods maintained growth
上半年
and
货
trade
物进出
structure
口总
continued to
额
optimize. In the
20万
first half year, the total value of imports and exports
116
was
亿元，同比增长2.1%。
20,101.6
其中
billion
出
yuan,
口
an increase
11
of
万
22.1% year-on-year.
4588亿元，
Total value
增
of
长
exports was
3.7%。进口 8 万
8,458.8 billion, up by 3.7%.
6429亿元，
Total value of
下降
imports was
0.1%。
8,642.9 billion
进出
yuan,
口
down
相
by
比，贸易顺
0.1%.
差
The trade
2万
balance was
8159亿元，一般贸易进出口增长 4%，
2,315.8 billion
占
yuan
社
in
会
surplus.
占
Imports
进
and
出口
exports
总
of
额的比
general
重
trade
为
went up by
65.5%，
4%, accounting for
比上年同期提高
65.5% of the
1.2 个
total
百分
value
点。
of import and exports.
民营企业进出口
1.2
增长
percentage points higher than
8.9%，
the same period
占进
last
出口
year.
总额的比重
Imports
为
and exports by prevalent prices
52.7%，
grew by
比上年
8.9%, accounting for
同期提高 3.3 个百分点。
52.8% of the total value of
对
import
一带
and
一路
exports.
沿线国家进出口
3.3
增长
percentage points higher
9.8%。
than the same period last
6月
year.
份进出口总
Compares
额
imports and
3万
exports with countries along the Belt and
4883
Road
亿
grew by
元，同比下
9.8%.
降
In
6%。
June, the total
其
value of
中
imports
出
and
口
exports was
19488.3
3,488.3
亿
billion
元，
yuan, down by
下降
6% year-on-year. The total value of
8.3%。
exports was
进口
1,989.8
14985亿元，下
billion
降
yuan, down by
2.6%。
8.3%. That of imports was
居民消费价格同比上涨，
1,498.5
工业生
billion
产
yuan,
者
down by
出厂价格
2.6%.
同比
7.
下降。
Consumption price
上半
rose
年
year-on-year
全国居
and
民消费
producer
价
price
格
for
同比
industrial
上
products
涨
dropped year-on-year.
0.7%。
In the first half year,
分
the
类别
consumer
看，
price index
食品
CPI
烟
rose
酒
by
价格上涨
0.7% year-on-year.
2.1%，
Grouped by
衣
commodity
着价格
categories,
上涨
prices for
0.8%，
food, tobacco, and alcohol
居
went up
住
by
价格上涨
2.1%, clothing
0.2%，
up by
生活用
0.8%,
品
housing
及
down
服
by
务价格上涨
2.2%,
0.5%，
articles and
交
services
通
for
通
daily
信价
use
格
up by
上下
0.5%,
降
transportation and
2.3%，
communication down by
教育文化娱
2.3%,
乐价格
education,
上涨
culture and
1.7%，
recreation up by
医疗保健
1.7%,
价格上
medical
涨
services
1%，
and healthcare up
其
by
他用品及
1%,
服务价
other
格上
articles
涨
and services up by
2.9%。
2.9%.
在食品烟酒价
In
格
terms
中
of food,
鲜
tobacco,
果
and
价格上
alcohol
涨
prices, the price
7.9%，
for fresh fruit
猪
went
肉
up by
价格上涨
7.9%,
3.2%，
pork up by
食品价格
3.2%,
上涨
grain
1.6%，
up by
鲜菜
1.6%,
价
and
格
fresh
下降
vegetable
2.7%。
down by
扣除食品
2.7%.
和能源的核心
The
价格后
core
的核心
CPI,
CPI 同比上涨
excluding the price of food and
0.7%。
energy, grew by 0.7%
6月份
year-on-year.
全国居民消费价
In
格
June,
同比持平，
CPI
环比下
maintained the
降
same level last year
0.32%。
and down by
上半年
0.2%
全国工业生
month-on-month.
产者出厂
In the
价
first half
格
year, the
同比下
producer
降
prices for industrial products
3.1%，
went down by
其中
3.1%
6月份
year-on-year.
同比下降
Specifically, the prices in
5.4%，
June dropped
环
by
比下降
5.4% year-on-year,
0.8%。
or down by
上半年
0.8%
工业生产者
month-on-month.
购进价
In the
格
first
同
half
比
year,
下
the
降
purchasing
3%，
prices for
其中6月份同
industrial
比下
producers
降
went down by
6.5%，
3% year-on-year.
环比下降
Specifically, in June, the
1.1%。
prices dropped by 6.5%
8.
year-on-year, or
就
down
业
by
形势总
1.1%
体稳定，
month-on-month.
城镇调查失业
8.
率下
Employment
降
was。generally stable, and service
上半年
unemployment
全
rate in
国城镇
urban
调查失业
areas
率平
declined.
均值
In the
为
first half year, urban survey
5.3%，
unemployment rate
比一
averaged
季度下降
5.3%,
0.2 个百
down
分点。
by
6月
0.2
份
percentage points
全国
over
城镇调查
over
失业率
Q1.
为
In June,
5.2%，
the surveyed
与上月
unemployment
持
rate in
平。
urban areas was
本地户籍
5.2%, the
劳动
same
力
as
调
last
查
month.
失业率为
The surveyed unemployment
5.1%，
rate of people with
外来
local
户籍劳
household
动力调查
registration
失
was
业率为
5.1%,
5.3%，
and those with
其
non-local
中外
household
来农
registration
业
was
户籍劳动力调
5.3%,
查失业率
of which the
为
rate of the
4.9%。
rate of population with non-local agricultural
16到
household
24岁
registration stood at
25到59岁
4.9%.
劳动力
The
调查
surveyed
失业率
unemployment
分
rates
别
of
为
population aged from 16 to 24 and from 25 to 59 was 21.3% and
25到59岁劳动
4.1%
力中，
respectively.
初中
Among
及
the
以下
population
学
aged
历、
from
高中学历、
25 to
大专学
59,
历、
the
本
surveyed
科及以上
unemployment
学
rates
历
of
劳动
population
力
with junior
调查失
high
业率
education
分别
or
为
below,
4.4%、
with senior high
4.4%、
education, with junior college
3.9%、
education, and with university
3.2%。
education or above
31
were
个大城市城镇调查失业率为
4.4%,
5.5%， 与上月持
4.4%, and
平。
3.2% respectively.
全国企业
Urban
就业人
unemployment
员周平均工作时间
urban
为
survey unemployment rate in
48.7 小
31
时。
major countries was major
二
cities
季度
was
末，外出务
5.5%,
工
same
农
of the
村
previous month.
外出务
Employment
工
of
农村劳动
underprice
力
worked
总量
48.7 per
18705 万
week on
人，
average. By the end
同
of
比
Q2,
增长
number of rural migrant
3.2%。
workers totaled 187.05
9.
million,
居
up
民
by
收入平稳增长，
3.2% year-on-year.
农村居民收
9.
入
Residents'
快于
income
城镇居民。
increased steadily, and income
上半
growth
年
of
全
rural
国居民
residents
人均可
was
支配
faster
收
than that
入
of urban
19672
residents. In the first half year, the nationwide per capita
72元，
disposable income of
同比名
residents
义增长
was
6.5%， 比一
19,672
季
yuan,
度
a
加
nominal
快
growth of
1.4个百分点。
6.5% year-on-year,
扣除价格因素，
1.4
实际
percentage
增
points
长
faster than the
5.8%，
first quarter.
加
Rural
快
growth was
2.0个百分点。
5.8% after
按常住
deducting
地
price
分，
factor, 2
城
percent
镇
points
居民人
faster.
均可支配收入
In terms of permanent residents, the per
26,357
capita
元，
disposable income
同
of
比名义增
households,
长
urban households
5.4%，
was
实际增长
26,357 yuan,
实
a
际增长
nominal growth
4.7%，
of 5.4
农村
percentage
居民
point
人均可支配
year
收
on
入
year, and a real growth of 4.7%.
10,550
Per capita disposable income of rural
551
households
元，
was
同比名义增长
10,551
7.8%，
yuan,
实
a
际增
nominal
长
growth of
7.2%。
7.8% year-on-year
从
and a
收入
real
来源
growth
看，
of
全国居民
7.2%.
人均工资性收
In
入、
terms of income
经营
sources,
净收入、
nationwide per
财
capita
产净
salary
收入、
income,
转移
net
净收入
business income, net
分
property
别名义
income,
增长
and net income from
6.8%、
transfers
7%、
grew by
4.7%、
6.8%,
6.1%。
7%,
全国居
4.7%,
民
and
人均可支配收入
6.1%
中位
nominal
数
terms.
16393
The median of the nationwide per
元，
capita disposable
同比
income
名
of
义增长
residents was
5.4%。
16,393
总的来
yuan,
看，
with a
上
nominal
半
growth
年
of
随着经济社会全面恢复常态化运
5.4%
行，
year-on-year.
宏
Generally
观政
speaking,
策
the
显
first
效
half
发
year
力，
social
国
economic
民经济
development has
回升
returned to
向好。
normal, and macro
高
policies
质量发展稳步推
manifesting
进。
effects.
但
National
要看
economy
到
showed a good momentum with high
世
quality
界政治
development
经济
advancing
形势错
steadily.
综复杂，
But we need to see
国
that
内经济
international
持续
political
恢
and
复发
economic
展的基础
circumstance
仍不
is
稳固。
complicated. The
下阶段
foundation
要
for
坚持
sustained
以
economic
习近
recovery
平新时
is
代
not yet
中国特
solidly
色社会
footed.
主义思
At the
想
next
为指
stage,
导，
we must follow the guidance
坚
of
持稳中
the
求进工
Xi
作总基
Jinping
调，
thought on
完
socialism
整
with
准
Chinese
确全
characteristics
面
for a
贯彻
new
新发
era,
展理念，
adhere to the general
围
principle
绕
of
高质
pursuing
量发
progress
展
for
这个
maintaining
首要任
stability,
务
fully and
和构
faithfully
建
apply
新
the
发
new
展格
development
局这个
philosophy,
战略任务，
focus on the
全
top
面深
task
化
of
改革
high
开
quality
放，
development and strategic
加快
task of
建设
creating a
现代
new
化产业
pattern
体
of growth,
系，着力
deepen
畅通
reform and
经济循
opening up,
环，在
accelerate the
转方
modernization
式
of
调
industrial
结构、
system,
纵
promote
动能
smooth
上下更
economic
大的
growth,
功
and
夫，
make more efforts to change
努
growth
力推
model,
动经
improve
济
economic
实现
structure, and
质的
gather
有
new
效提升
momentum
和
for
量的
growth
合理
so
增
as
长。
to achieve
谢
expected
谢。
enhancement of quality
谢谢
and
林辉司长的
quantity
介
of
绍。
economy.
下面我们就
Thank
进
you
入
for
提
your
问环节。
briefing.
提
Now
问前，
we
还
will
是请
answer
通报一
questions.
下
Now,
所在的
before
新
you
闻机
raise
构。
your question, please
请大家开始
identify
举手
your
提
media
问。
affiliation.
先这边第4排这位女记者，第4排，第4排，后面对。
谢谢主持人，副司长您
Thank you
好，
for your
我是
question.
总台央视记者。从刚刚发布的数据
CCTV
来看呢，今年2季度我国经
From
济运
the
行
data
日
just
延续恢
released
复态
in
势。那
Q2,
您是
economic
如何评
recovery
价今年
is
上半年我国的经济走势
advancing
的？另外
smoothly.
呢，我
And
国的经济运行日呈现出
what
哪
is your
些特点
assessment
呢？
of
谢
the
谢。
economic situation in the first half
谢谢您的
year,
提问。
and what are the features?
今年
Thank
以
you.
来呢，应该说呢，随着经济社会全面
Since
恢复常
this
态化
year,
运
as
行，
China's
稳
economy
增
and
长、稳
society is
就业、
going
稳
back
物
to
价政策效
normal
果
and
逐步显
recovering,
现，
and the policy
市场需
stabilizing
求
growth,
逐步
employment
恢
and
复，
prices are
生产供给持
delivering,
续增
and
加，
market demand
就
is
业形
recovering,
势
and
总体稳
production and
定，
supply has been
民生
increasing
保障有
steadily,
力有效，
employment has
发
maintained
展质
stable,
量继续
and
提
people's
升，
well-being
国
has
民
been
经济恢复
safeguarded,
向好。
and development
主要
quality has
表
been
现在以下
improved,
几个方面。
and the national
一
economy
是
is
经济增
recovering,
长整
going
体回
back
升。
to normal.
今年
First
上半
of
年
all,
国内生产总值
economic
同比
growth
增长
has
5.5%，
rebounded in the first
明
half.
显
The
快于去
GDP
年3%的
grew
经济
by
增速，也快
5.5%,
于一季
which
度
is significantly
4.5%的
higher
经济
than
增
the
速。
3% growth
那么
last
今
year
年以
and
来
the
呢，世界经
4.5%
济复
growth
苏
in
乏力，
Q1.
全
Since
球
this
通胀
year,
水平
the
依然较
global
高，
economy is
主要经
seeing
济体
a
货币
sluggish
政策
recovery
紧缩
with
外
a
溢
high
的
level of
效应突出。
inflation, and
在复杂严
the
峻的外部环境下，
tightening monetary
我国
policy
经
of
济增
major
速明显
economies
快于
are
世界
delivering
上主
spillover
要
effects.
发达经济体，
Against such a
彰显出我国经
complicated
济发展的
external
强大韧性。
environment, China's growth is
二是
significantly
国内需
faster
求持续
than
扩大，
major developed economies, which
扩大内
shows
需
the
各
strong
项政策
resilience
措
of
施落
China's
地生
economy.
效，内需
Secondly,
潜力持续释放，
domestic demand has been
尤其是
expanded.
消
Our
费对经
policies
济
and
增长的拉
measures
动
have
明显增
been
强。
releasing the potential of
上半年
domestic
社会消费零售
demand,
总额
driving
同比
economic
增长
growth.
了
In the
8.2%，
first half,
保
the
持较
retail
快的增
sales
长。
of consumer goods
最终
increased
消费支出
by
对经济增
8.2%
长的贡献率
year-on-year,
达
which
到
is
了
a rapid growth,
77.2%，
and contributed
明显高于去年。
77.2% to economic
投
growth,
资持续增长，
significantly higher than last
重
year.
点领域
Investment
投资增
has
长较快，
maintained
有
growth,
效发挥
and
优化
rapid
供给结
growth
构的
was
作用。
seen in key
上半年固定
industries
资产投资
and
同比增长
sectors, and
3.8%，
it has
其
helped
中
us
基础设施
improve
投资、
supply side structure.
制造业投资
The fixed
分别
assets
增长
investment grew by
7.2% 和 6%。
3.8%, and 7.2% and
三是产业发展
6%
继续
growth
夯
was
实，
seen in investment in
在
infrastructure
一系列
and
确保农
manufacturing.
业稳产
Third,
增产，
and the
促进
industrial
实体经
development
济
has
发
been
展政策措施的
consolidated
作用下，
with a series of
三次产
policies
业持续
for
恢复，
ensuring
发展基
agricultural
础得到巩
stability
固，
and growth in
农业
output
生产保
and
持稳定，
promoting real
夏
economy
粮生产实
development.
现丰收，
We have seen a more solid development foundation. Agriculture production has maintained stable. We have had a harvest in summer grain and vegetables and fruits, and poultry, eggs, and milk have ample supply. In the first half, the output of pork, beef, mutton, and poultry grew by 3.6%. Industrial production also recovered. The value added of industries above designated level grew by 3.8% in the first half of this year, 0.8 percentage points faster than Q1. Service sector has also seen rapid growth of 6.4%. with many of the sectors involving gatherings and contacts growing rapidly. And fourth, we have seen better structure, and service industries value added accounts for 56% of the whole GDP. And the equipment manufacturing value added has accounted for 32.3% of industrial value added above designated level, 1.4 percentage points higher than the same period last year. We have seen an improved consumption and investment structure. The consumption in upgraded commodities, the retail sales of such products have been increased by 17.5% and 10.5% respectively, and the investment in high-tech industry increased by 12.5%. And number 5, we have seen stronger momentum of growth in innovation, with growth in new industries, for example, such as aviation and aerospace industry grew by 22.9%, and information transmission and the software and information technology grew by 12.9%. And new formalities of business are growing rapidly. We're seeing that the retail sales of physical goods grew by 10.8% year on year, and employment is also recovering, and the surveyed unemployment of urban areas was 5.3% for the first half of this year, and it went down since the beginning of this year. The per capita disposable income of our residents had an increase of 5.8% of real growth, significantly faster than last year. The gap between urban and rural residents' income was narrowed. The ratio was down by 0.05 compared with last year. And we have seen a generally good momentum of recovery and a solid progress in transformation, but we're seeing that we're still facing challenges in terms of sluggish global growth and a lack of domestic demand. And we will continue to implement the decision of the Party Central Committee and pursue progress while maintaining stability. We will focus on high-quality development and implement our macro policies, release domestic demand, deepen reform and opening up, and push our economy for a general recovery and for an effective improvement of quality and reasonable growth in quantity. Thank you.
谢谢主持人。我是日本共同社的质量提问。2023年第二季度的经济增速受到去年疫情因素影响，
In 2023, the Q2's economic recovery was quite rapid compared with last year, but we're faced with complicated international circumstances. What will be the prospect for the second half? Will the 5% target be met?
Thank you for your question. In the first half year, China's economy is recovering with good momentum.
那么，随着经济社会呢全面恢复常态化运行以后，
With the social economy returning to normal,
主要指标呢是总体
main
改善，
indicators are
新
overall
动能成长
improving.
壮大，
New drivers
发展质
are
量
being
是有所提
fostered
升，
and with high
人民
quality
生
being
活呢继续改
fostered.
善，为实
People's
现
livelihood are
全年
increasing,
经济社会
are
发
being
展的新目
improved,
标呢奠定了
and
坚
has
实的
laid a
基
good
础。
foundation for hitting our
从
target for
下
the
阶
whole
段情
year.
况看呢，尽管外部
Going
环
forward,
境更具复杂严峻，
despite
国内经济发
complicated
展也
external
面临
environment
压力，
and pressure
但我
for
国经济长期向好的基
domestic
本面
economic
没有改
growth,
变，
but
韧
the
性
basic
强、潜
fundamentals
力
for
大、
our
活力
economy
足
for
的
the
特
long
点
term has
也
not
没有改
changed.
变，
The
支
features
撑
of
高质量发展的条件
being
也没有改
very
变。
resilient, having huge
随着促
potential
进发展的
and
积极因素
vitality
累积
has
增
not
多，
changed.
经济有望
With
继
more
续
positive
恢复向
factors
好。
accumulating in development, we
一
have
是消费的拉
the
动继续增
positive
强。
prospect of continue to
今年以
recover.
来呢，各
First,
方面
the
积
driving
极
force
恢
of
复和扩
consumption
大消
continue to
费，
strengthen. Since
消
the
费
start of this
潜力
year,
逐步释放，
parties have
对经
actively
济增长的拉动
resumed and
明
expanded
显增强，
consumption.
为推
Its
动经济恢复向好
potential
发挥了
is
重要的作用。
gradually unleashed.
上半年
And
最终消
lay a
费
good
支出
foundation
对
for
经济增
economic
长
recovery.
的
In
贡
the
献
first
率
half
达
year,
到了
its contribution, the
77.2%，
final consumption expenditures
明
contribution
显
to
比去年全
to
年的贡献率
economic
是明
growth
显提
was
升。
77.2%,
那么下阶
significantly
段呢，
higher
就业形势
than
继续改善，
last year.
居民收入
In
持
the
续增
next
加，
stage, the
有利于
employment
带动居
situation
民的
will
消费
continue
能
to
力和
improve,
消费意愿的
people's
提升，
income will increase.
同
This
时
will
推动新能源汽车
this
销
will
售、
contribute
绿
to
色智
the
能家
increase of
电等
people's
促消费政
intention
策
and
显
willingness
效，
to spend. At
也
the
有
same
利于扩
time,
大消费，
new energy vehicle
促进
sales,
经
the
济恢复
sales
向
of
好。
green and smart appliance will
二是服
also
务，服务业
have
向好
more
发展。
supportive policies, which will
随着经
expand
济社会全面恢复常态
consumption
化运
and
行以
promote
后，
economic growth.
服
Second,
务业增长
the
明显加快，
service sector is
尤其是批发、
recovering
零售、
with a good
住
momentum.
宿、餐饮、交通运输
With social
等接触
economy
性服务业
resuming to
回升明
normal,
显，
service sector
对经济
is
增长的贡献
growing
提升。
rapidly.
上半
And
年服务
the
业增加值，
wholesale
服务业
and
增长对经
retail
济增长的
accommodation
贡
and
献率
catering
超
and
过 60%。
transportation and other
那么
service
下阶段呢，
models
居民
are
文化旅
increasing
游、
rapidly,
健身体育
contributing
等
to
服务
economic
性
growth.
消费
In
需
the
求
first
加
half
快
of
释
year,
放，
service
研发
sector's
设计、
contribution
商
to
务
economic
会展
growth was over
等生产性
60%.
服务
Going
需求增
forward,
多，
the
将带动
services
服务业
of cultural
保持较快的增长。
tourism and
助力经济
sports
稳定运
will
行。
further increase. And
从服务
also
业商务活动指数来看，
the
6月份
services
服务业
the
商务活动指
service
数为
demand for
52.8%，
R&D for
已经连
exhibition
续
will
6
also
个月
increase.
处于景气
This
区
will
间。
boost
三
service
是新动能
sector
发展
and
壮大。
stabilize the economy.
我国深入实施
In
创新驱动
June,
发展战略，
the business activity index for
强化战略
services
科
was
技力量，现
52.8%,
代信息技术、人工智
and
能、
it has
大数
maintained
据
in a high
等技术
expansion
广
rate
泛应
for
用，
6 consecutive months.
创新成果不断
Third,
涌
new
现，
drivers continue to be
新产业、
fostered.
新产
We
品增
are
势良好。
implementing the
今年以来，
innovation-driven
国产大飞
development
机
strategy
C919 完
and
成
enhancing
了
our
商业首
strategic
飞，
technology capacity.
全球首台16兆瓦
Applications
海
of
上充电
modern
机组完成吊
ICT,
装，
AI, and big
科技
data
赋
are
能
being
高质量发展，
applied.
持续赋能高质量发
Innovation
展。
results are cropping
那
up.
还要看到呢，
New
这个
products and new industries
智能
are coming into the
智能
picture.
消费，
Since the start
这
of
个智
this
能产品
year,
的消费
we have
增长
seen that
也是在
the
持续增
commercial
加，那
debut
么也
of
带动了
C919
相关的这个
large
制造业的增长。
plane,
上半年
and
呢，智
also
能
the
消费设备制
and
造业呢
also the first
增
60
加值呢同
megawatt
比增长
offshore
12%。
wind power
同时呢，
unit was being
在
installed,
这个
and we are
半导体
seeing high
行
quality
业
development in science and
围绕着
technology.
这
In the
个
first half
克服
year,
这个
the
卡脖子一
smart
些。
consumption equipment
那么
manufacturing
这块
increased
呢，我
by
们看到上半
12%.
年呢，半导体
Semiconductor parts
相关的行
manufacturing
业
increased
这
by
个增长，制造业的增长也比较
30.9%.
快。上半年呢，半导体
Aerospace,
器件专用
aluminum,
设备
industrial
制造业呢，增长了30.9%。还要看到这个从产品
aerospace,
来看呢，
aluminum,
一些新材料啊，智能
and other
这
new
个
materials and
增长
smart
也比较快。
products are also
上半年
increasing
呢，航
rapidly.
空航天铝材、工业
For
控制
example,
计算机
aerospace,
及系统产
aluminum,
量
industrial
分别
control,
增长
computer system,
23.3%、
and their production
34.1%。
increased by 23.3%
下阶段
and
创新动能持续增
34.1%.
强，
Going forward,
将为
the
经济发展注
innovation
入新的动力。
will have greater driving force
四是
and
绿色
injecting
转
new
型的
impetus
成
to
效显
economic
现，
development.
能源
Fourth,
绿色
the
化发
effects
展的
of
步伐
green
加快，
transition is showing.
绿色
New
生产生
energy
活
and
方式加
green
快形
development
成，
is stepping up.
绿色转型
Green
和经济增长
lifestyle
协同
is
发展成效不断
being
显
in the
现。
making. Green
上半
transition
年
and
新能
economic
源汽
growth
车、
are
太阳能电
coordinating
池、充电
with
桩
good
等新能源
results.
产品的
In the
产量
first half
分别
year,
增
new
长
energy
35%、
vehicle, solar cells, and charging
54.5%、
points, and other new energy products
53.1%。
increased by
那么
35%,
以锂电池、太阳能电池、
54.5%,
电动载燃汽车
53.1%.
为代表的新3样产品出口增长了
Lithium battery,
61.6%。
solar cells, and EV
下阶段
vehicles exports
绿色化
increased
发
by
展动能充沛，
61.6%.
在促
Going
进经济发
forward,
展
we
质
have
量提
good
升的同
driving
时，
force for green
将助
development,
力经济增长动能的
and
转
it
换。
will continue to assist with
还
the
要看到
transitioning
各
of
地区
economic
各部
growth
门
drivers.
坚持
We
推
also
动
need to
高质
see
量发
that
展，
countries,
科学精准实
departments
施
and
宏观
regions
政策，
are committed to
着
high
力
quality
扩大国内
development,
需求，
and
畅通经济循环，
policy
将为经济平稳运
backward
行
policies
提
are
供有
targeted
力的保障。总的来
and
看，
providing good
今年以来，我国经济
foundations
逐步摆
for
脱疫情的
expanding
影响，
domestic demand
向
and
常态
channeling
化
the
运行的
economic
轨道回归，
cycling,
呈现恢复
providing
向
good
好的态
foundation
势。
for economic
从全年
stabilizing
看，
and
尽管
operation.
面临压力
On the
和挑
whole,
战，但是随着
since the
就业
start
的
of
改
this
善，
year,
居
our
民收入的
economy
增
are
加，
shaking off the
内需拉
impact
动
of the
逐步增
pandemic
强，
and returning
供
to
给结
normal.
构调整优化，
Generally
新
speaking,
动能成长壮大，
although we face
经济
difficulties
将
and
稳步恢
pressure,
复，发展质量
but
将继
we
续
are
提升。
seeing improvement in employment,
因
in
此，完全有
residents'
信
income
心、
and
有
domestic
条
demand.
件，也有能力
Our
完
structure
成
will
全
continue
年经济
to
社会发展
optimize
预期
and
目
new
标任务
drivers will continue to
谢谢
growth, economy will be
继续提问。
stabilized. So we have the capacity to realize
这
our
一
whole
列
year target.
后面那位外国记者，对。
Thank you. Good morning. A question from Reuters. On the second quarter GDP growth, was it faster or slower than the National Bureau of Statistics' expectations? And which areas affect this outcome most? Thank you.
请翻译一下。
早上好，路透社记者提问，请问第二季度的增速是快于预期还是慢于预期，以及其中因素如何？ 谢谢。
谢谢您的提问。对于这个二季度经
Thank
济
you
增
for
长，应该说
for
呢，
your
今年以
question.
来呢，
As for
经济内
Q2's
循
economic
在逐
growth,
步向常态
and
化运
since
行的轨道
this
在
year
回归。一
we
季
are
度呢，
seeing a
经济
recovery
开
to the
局良
normal
好，
track.
二季度
We
呢
have
延
had
续
a
了
good
恢复的
start in
态势。
Q1, and we have
总的
maintained
来看
the
呢，
momentum of
这个
recovery in
上半年
Q2.
中国经
Generally
济呢整
speaking,
体
in the
上呈
first
现回归
half,
向好的态
the
势。
Chinese economy has had
从各国
a
经济运行的情
momentum
况来
of
看呢，
recovery
那么在这个疫情防控转段以
compared
后，
with
各
major
国家
other
呢经济运
major
行整体
economies
上都出现一定的
after
这
the
个加快的
transition
情
of
况。
pandemic.
但是
We
呢，各
have
国家由
seen
于这个国情的不同，
a
发展阶段的不
more
同，
rapid
那么
growth
这
in
个还有跟这个
different
国际环境
economies,
有很大的
but
关系。那么
different
各国
countries
家
are
呢，
in
在
various
加快的
development
幅度上，
stages
实
and
际
they
上有
face
很多的
different environment, and so
这个
they
差别还是比较大
are
的。
different,
那么
quite
从我
different in
国的情况
terms
来看
of
呢，
the speed
今
of
年经济社会全面恢
growth.
复常态化运行以后啊，
Since
生产需求
our
稳步恢复，前期受疫情影响较大的
economy
消费和服务
went
业加
back
快明
to
显，对
normal,
经济增长的
and
带
now
动作用增
the
强。
consumption
工
and
农业
service
生产总
sector
体平
is
稳，
going
啊
back
为经济恢复
rapidly
提
in
供了有
contributing
力
to
的支撑。
economic growth, and
总的来
industrial
看，经济运
production
行
has
逐步
also
摆脱
maintained
疫情的影
stability,
响，向常态化的
providing
增
a
长
strong
轨道在回归。
underpinning. And generally
那么上
speaking,
半
we're
年呢，
shaking
国
off
内
the
生产
impact
总
of
值同比
COVID-19
增长
and recovering.
5.5%，
We have had
二
a
季度增长
5.5% growth
那
in
么
the first
5.5%
half,
增速
and
呢，
in
明显
Q2
快
we
于上
had
年全年
6.3%,
的去年全年
and the
3%的经济增速，也
5.5%
快于
is
疫
much
情
higher than
3
3%
年
last year,
4.5% 的年
and
均增
the
速。
4.5%
经济
we've
增长回升
had
的态势还是比较明
in
显
the past
二季度
3
增长呢
years
也是保持了
average,
较快的增长。
and we have maintained
那么对
relatively
于上
rapid
半年
growth in
5%的这
Q2,
个经济增速呢，应该说呢是含金量比较高的一个数。
and the growth of
那么5.5% 的
5.5%,
经济增长在全球的范围内是较快的增速。
it
那么
is
今年以
a
来呢，
rapid
全球
growth
经济增长低
in
迷，
the
主
world,
要经济体增长乏
and
力。
we're seeing sluggish
我国
growth
经济
in
保持了较
major
快增长，
economies,
对全
and
球
the
经济发
Chinese
展提
economy
供了重要支撑。
rapid growth
那
provides
么
an
近期呢，
important
主要国际
underpinning
组
for
织上
global
调了全球
growth.
经济增长
And
预期。
recently, major
很重要
international
的因素
organizations
就是因
have
为中国经济恢复
raised
向好。
their
那么从
estimation
主要
of global
这个
growth.
经济
An
体发
important
布的
factor is
经济发布
China's
的数据来看，
recovery.
那么
According
今年一季
to
度呢，美
data that
国、
has been
欧元
released
区、日
in
本、
Q1,
巴西
the
的
United
GDP
States,
同比
the
分别增
Eurozone,
长
Japan,
1.8%、
and Brazil grew by
1.9%
1.8%,
4%。
1%,
那么即
1.9%,
便考虑
and
到二季度的
4%.
这个变化情况，
Even
那么从
considering
上半
the
年
changes
总
in
体来看，
Q2,
中国经
generally
济增速
speaking,
仍
for
然
the
在
first
主要
half of
经济
this
体当
year,
中是最快的。
China's economy grew fastest among
二是
major economies.
5.5%的经济增长
Second,
是结构改
this
善、动能
growth
优化的增长。
features a
从
better
需求看，
structure and
经济增长由
stronger
去年的以
driving
投资
forces.
和出口拉动为主，
From last
转
year's
为今年
investment
的
and
以
export
消费和
driven
投资
growth,
拉动为主。
we have achieved
那么其中
consumption
消
and
费对经济
investment
增长的贡
driven
献是
growth.
明显提升。前面也
Consumption
提到，
is contributing
今年
much
上半
more
年
to
最终消
economic
费
growth.
支出对
As
增
I
长
have
贡献率
mentioned,
超过了70%。
the final
那么从生产来
consumption
看，
expenditure
经济
contributed
增长呢由去年以
77.2% to
工业
economic
推动
growth
为
in the
主，
first half of this
转
year.
为
From
服务业和工业
production,
为主
it
共同
has
推动。
shifted
那么
from
其中服务业的贡献
industry-driven
大幅
to
增加。上半年的
services
服务业
and
服务业增
industry-driven,
长对经济增长的贡
with
献
a
率
much
超过
higher
60%。
contribution of
三
service
是
sector,
5.5%的经济
of
增长是创新驱动
66.1%
发
actually.
展方式转变的
And
增长。
third,
那
this
么创新
growth
驱动战略深入
features
实
a
施，新动
stronger
能持续增长，
driving force of
有利
innovation and a
助推
transition in
高质量发
development
展。
model.
上半年高
It
技术产业的
has
投资同比增长了
underpinned high quality
12.5%，
development.
信息
The
传输、
high-tech
软件
industry
和信息技
investment
术
grew
服务业
by
增加值增长
12.5%,
12.9%。
with information
那么
transmission
实物商
software
品
and
网上零
information
售额
technology services
增长
grew by
10.8%。
12.9%, while
同时呢，
retail
这个绿
sales
色转
online
型
of
成
physical
效明
goods
显，与经济
grew
增长
by
的协同作用增
10.8%.
强。
Green
那
transition
么从
has
这个
delivered
上半年
good
的这个环
results.
境质量的数据来看呢，
As for
上半
data
年整体
for
的
the
空气质
first
量
half of this
这个优
year,
良率还保持在较高的水平。
the
同时，从国家的
amount
这个地标水口和断面当
sound
中呢，水质优良的断面比例
quality
呢，同比
water
上升了
sections
2.1%。
has increased by
从
2.1
绿色转型
percentage
当中
points
的经
compared
济
with the same period
方
last year.
上半年呢，新能源汽车、
And
太阳能电
new
池的产品
energy
产量
vehicle
分别增长
solar
35%
cells output increased by 35% and
同时，能
54.5%
源的利用
respectively,
效率
and
继续提升。
energy consumption
上半
efficiency
年呢，单
has
位
been
GDP 能耗
enhanced.
同
In
比
the
下
first
降
half of this year,
0.4%。
energy consumption per
股市
capita
5.5%的
per
增长
unit of
是
GDP
高水平开放、
decreased by
贸易结构优化的增长。
0.4%. And
在
this
世界经
growth
济复苏乏力、全
features
球贸易投资
expanded
放缓的背
opening
景
up
下，
and better
我国积
trade
极扩大高
structure.
水平开放，
China has been actively expanding high-level opening up
在互利共赢的基
with
础
better
上，
trade
同
structure
世界各国加
based
强
on
经贸往
mutual
来，
benefit.
效果不断显现。上半年我国货物进
In
口
the
总
first
额
half of the
同比
year,
增长
the
2.1%，
imports and
其中
exports
附加值较高
grew
的一
by
般贸易占进出口
2.1%
总，
year
一
on
般贸
year.
易进出口占进出口
The
总额的比
general
重上升到
trade
65.5%。
accounts for
贸易多元化发展向
65.5%
好。
of the
上
total,
半年我国对“一带一路”
and
沿
our
线国家
trade
进出
is
口
further
增长了
diversified.
9.8%，
Our
对
imports and
拉丁
exports
美
with
洲、
Belt and Road
非洲进出
partners
口总额分别增长
increased by
7%、
9.8%,
10.5%。
and that with
跨
Latin
境电
America
商
and
等外
Africa
贸新
grew
业
by
态发展较
7%
快。
and 10.5%. And
五是
cross-border e-commerce has also
5.5%的经济
developed
增长是
rapidly.
就业扩大、民生改善
And
的增长。
fifth, this growth
一年以来，
features
我国城镇调查
expanded
失业率总
employment
体
and
下降，
better
6月份
livelihood
降
for
至
our people.
5.2%， 已经接近
Our
疫情前
urban
同期的
survey
水平。
unemployment rate
那么就
was
业的扩
decreased
大
to
带来居民收
5.2%
入的
in
增加。
June,
上半
which
年
is
居民
close
全
to
国居
what
民
we
人均
had
可支配
before
收
the
入
pandemic.
实际增长5.8%。
And
比上年全年
residents
是明
per
显加快。
capita disposable
经
income
济恢
grew
复
by
向好，也带动了居
5.8%.
民消费意愿的提升，促进
This
消费支出的增
also
加。
increased
上半
people's
年全国居民
willingness
人
to
均消
consume.
费支出实际增长7.6%。
Consumption expenditure
6是
grew
5.5%
by
的经济增长，是
7.6%
粮
in
食
the first
能源
half
安全得到
of
巩固
the
的增
year.
长。
And
今年以
sixth,
来，各方
this
面压
growth
紧压实粮
features
食生产责
a
任，
stronger
下粮
safeguard
生
in
产
terms of
在
food
收
and
稳
energy
时
security.
期。尽管遭遇到烂长雨的不利影响，
We,
但仍然
all
实现了丰收。
stakeholders have shouldered their
我产
responsibilities
量居历史第
despite
2高位，
heavy rain before
没把
harvest.
饭碗牢
We
牢
have
端在自
achieved
己
the
的手里，
second
打下
highest
坚实的基础。
harvest in history.
能源保供也持续加强，
And
上半
we
年
have a
一
stronger
次能源生产总
safeguard
量
in
同比
energy
增长
supply.
2.7%，
And
其中
primary
原煤
energy、
原油、天然气的产量
output
分别
increased
增
by
长
2.7%
4.4%、
year on year,
2.1% 和
with
5.4%，
crude coal,
有
oil,
力
and
地保
natural
障了
gas
生产生活用油的
increasing at
使用。
4.4%,
谢谢。
2.1%, and 5.4%
继续提问。
respectively, meeting people's needs for production and daily life. Thank you.
这边吗？第一排这位男记者。
谢谢。封面新闻记者提问。统计数据显示，6月的 CPI 同比持平 ，PPI 同比下
CPI
降了
maintained at the same level
5.4%。
while PPI was down by
这个月的
5.4%. Does that
请
mean
发言人如何
deflation
评
is
价当
coming?
前的价
What
格
is your
情况？谢
assessment
谢。
on the prices
谢
now?
谢
Thank
您
you.
的提问。大家对于价格问题呢
Thank you for your
比较关注
question.
啊。
Price is of
社会上
concern
呢
to many
对于
people.
一些通缩这种讨论
And
也
there
比较
have been
多。
some discussion in the
那么
society on the
在这个其实在前
possibility
几
of
次发布会上我也
deflation.
都讲，
And then
总
it is a
总的来
topic that
看
I have touched
中国
upon in
经济
previous
呢
press
目前
briefings.
不存在通货紧缩
Generally
的现
speaking,
象，
there is no
下阶段也不会
deflation
出
in the
现
Chinese
通货紧
society,
缩。
and
因
there
为
won't be
从
one in the
这个
future.
尽管我们说价格目前是阶段性的这个处于低位，价
Although
格涨幅
price
处于
is
低位，
temporarily
但是
operating
呢
at a
从
low
经济增
level,
长从货
but
币供应
if
这
we
些
look
相关
at
的这个指标来
monetary
看，
supply and
中国
economic
的
growth and other
经济呢都
indicators,
不符
China's
合我们说通货
economy
紧缩的这种条件。
will not
那
have a
么从价格
deflation
的本
because
身
it
来
does
看
not
呢，
meet with
今
relevant
年上半年
conditions.
呢，由于这个世界经济
In
恢
the
复
first
乏
half of
力，
this
国
year,
际能源价
because
格的回
global
落，带
sluggish
动国内能源价格的
recovery,
同时，国内车企增价
international
促
low
销，
price
猪肉价格
lead
转
to the
降，
low price
加
in
之上年
China.
同期基数较高，我国居民消费价格涨幅上半年总体上
And due to
回
many
落。
other
那
factors,
么上半年呢，
China's
居民消费价格同比
general
上涨
CPI
0.7%，比
gradually
一季度呢是
saw
回
a
落0.6
slight
个百分点，
drop.
主要有4方面的特点。
There are
一个
4
是食品价
features.
格涨幅回落。
First is the
那上半年
price
呢，
of
食品价格
food
同比上涨2.5%，
is
比
growing
一季度回落
at
1.2
a
个百分
lower
点。
level.
其中鲜果、禽肉类价格涨幅较
The
高，
price
分别
of
上涨7.9%
vegetables
和6.4%。
and food increased
生
by
猪产能充足，猪肉价格呢
6.9%
在
and
5月份起啊，
7.9%
由
and
这个出现了同比转
6.4%.
降，那么上半年平均上涨是3.2%。二是
The
能源价
general
格下
increase
降，
of
那么受到国
pork
际能源价
in
格
the
下行
first
的影响呢，上
in
半
the first half
年
of the year was
CPI 当中的
3.2%.
能源价格呢是下降3.5%。
Energy price
那么其中
decreased
汽油
by、
柴油价格呢分别
3.5%.
下降了7.3%和8%。三是服
Diesel
务价
and
格呢小幅上
gasoline
涨，
reduced by
受到
8%
服
and
务消费恢复
7.3%
向好的带
respectively.
动呢，服务价格涨幅呢有
Service
所扩大。
Ser-
上半年呢，
service
服务价格
products
同比上涨
prices
0.9%，涨幅比一季度扩大了
increased by
0.1个百分点。
0.9% in the first
那
half,
其中飞机
0.1
票、
percentage point
宾馆
higher
住宿、
than
旅游价
Q1.
格分别上涨了20.2%、8.6% 7.6%和7.1%。4是核心 CPI 呢总体稳定。
And then core
上半
CPI
年
is
扣除
maintained
食品和能源的
stability.
核心 CPI
Core
同比上涨
CPI in the first quarter
0.7%，比
increased
一
by
季度回落0.1个百分点。
0.7% year on year, 0.1
那么
percentage
6月
point
份
lower
的居
than
民消费价
Q1.
格同比持
In
平
June,
与
CPI
上月的上涨0.2%，
was
同
on
比持
par
平。 也引
with
引
last
起各
month.
方面的关注。
And this has
那
garnered
么
social
总的来
attention.
看呢，这个
Generally
CPI 的
speaking,
低位运行呢，是
CPI is operating at a
涨幅呢低位运
relatively
行呢
low
是国际
level
国内多重因素共同影响的结
is a
果。
result
怎
of
么看
many
呢？是阶
factors,
段性。
domestic and international.
那么今年以来呢，我国经济社会呢全面恢复常态化
Since
运
the start
行，
of this year, our economy
市
is
场
returning
需
back
求
to
是逐
normal.
步扩大的，
Market demand
生
is
产供给
gradually
也在持
improving.
续增加，经济
And
运
with
行呢
the
逐渐恢
increasing
复向好的
supply,
态势。
the economy is
那么从供给
has a
来
good
看呢，
momentum of
那么
recovery.
在疫情期间呢，这个我国大力呢实施助企纾
During
困，
during
保障了
pandemic,
量大面广经营主
we
体的
had
生存。
policies to support
那么疫情消退以后呢，
companies and
我国
relieve their
凭借
difficulties.
完善的产业
This
体
has
系、
made
强大
good
的生产能
results.
力，市场供给快速增加。
Therefore, as a result,
那么
the
就业形
supply
势的改
of
善，
the
我
market is
们看到现在就业
increasing,
形势
and
出
we
现
have
明显
seen
改善，
improvement in
也反映
employment as
出
well.
生产供给呢恢复较好的这种情况。
This
那
employment
么从
also
需求来
show
看呢，那么过
that
去
the
3年呢
supply
受到疫
is
情的影响，
improving.
居民和企业的收
Due
入
to
都
pandemic,
受到了一定的影响。
back in
相
the
应的这
pandemic
个市场需
years,
求的恢复需要一定的时间。 那
the
么这种
production
生
was
产
impacted by
需
the
求
COVID, so
之
it
间
takes
恢复的
time
这
for
种
them
不
to
同步，
recover.
一定程度上造成我们说这个目前来看呢，
And that, to some extent,
这个 CPI 价格
contributed
低位
to
运
the
行。
current
那么
low
同时
level
呢，
of
我们看
CPI.
到呢，还有就是国际的输入性因素，
There are also
以及上年
factors,
同期基
international
数较高，
factors, and also
这
the
两方面
factors
因
that
素
last year's
也
base
是
was
导致
relatively high.
这个 CPI 涨幅呢阶段性回落的重要的原因。
And they are important factors that
那么从下阶段来
led
看
to
呢，
the low
随着我国
CPI
经济
growth.
恢复向好，市场需求的
Going
逐步的
forward,
扩大，
with
经济
economy
循环的畅通，
recovering
供
and
求关系呢将逐步改
the
善。
economy's
那么从食品
operation
价
being
格
more
来看呢，
smooth, we
我
will
国
see an
粮食生产
improvement
总体稳
of
定，有
CPI.
利于保证
Food
食品价格
production
的稳
is
定。
stable, that is
那么后期
conducive
呢，猪肉
to
消
food
费
prices
需
being
求
stable as
季节
well.
性增加，也会带动
And the
价格的回
seasonal
升。
increase in the demand for
那
pork
从
will
工业消费
also
品来看呢，
be
国
contributive.
际能源价格低位运行的输入性影响有可能会持续，
Also, in the
但
future,
是呢，
the
像车
impact
企的
of
短
low
期降价
international
促销
energy
的一些
prices
影
will
响
also
呢
have
有
an
望逐
impact.
步的消除。那么从服务价格来看呢，服务需
As
求
for
稳步扩
service
大，服务
prices,
价格呢
the services
将
need
稳
will
步
continue to
稳中有
expand,
升。二
and
季
the
度呢，
price
服务价格
will
呢同比
grow
上
in a
涨
steady manner.
0.9%，比一季
In
度
the
呢扩大
second
0.1个百分
quarter,
点。
the
那么
service
综合上述因素
price increased
加
by
之高基数
0.9% higher
这
than
个去年
Q1.
同期这个高基数的因素呢逐步的消除。
We're seeing
价格
a
涨幅呢
diminishing
会逐步回到合理
impact
的
of the
水
high
平。
base
谢谢。
of last year's
谢谢主任。
data. Thank you.
好，后面第5排那位外国记者。
Good morning. Market News International. Recently, the growth rate of investment in real estate development has declined. With the continuous relaxation of real estate policies, what is the trend of real estate investment in the second half of the year? Thank you.
好，请翻译一下。
美国国际市场新闻社提问：近期房地产开发投资增速下降，随着房地产政策持续放松，请问下半年房地产投资走势如何？
谢谢您的提问啊，房地产市场。
Thank you for your
大家也是比
question.
较
The
关
real
注。
estate market
那么今年以来呢，各地区各部门
is
呢坚持
a
房住不炒，
concern
因城
for
施
many
策，
people,
支持
and
刚性改
we
善
have
这个
supported
合理的刚
people's
性改善性的合理住
needs
房需求，
in reasonable
积极
needs in
做好
terms of
保交楼、
basic and
保
improvement
民生、
housing,
保稳定工作。
and we have
那么一
ensured
季度呢，
stability
前
of the
期
real
积压
estate
的购房
market.
需求呢集中释
In
放，
Q1, we
带动
have
房地
seen
产
the
市场
demand
有所改善。
released,
二
and
季
improving
度
the
呢，
real
房地
estate
产市
market
场
in
逐步回
Q2,
归常态化运
and
行。
the market has
上半年呢，房地产
gradually
市场
gone
总
back
体上
to
呈现企
normal
稳的态势。
operation, and stability
那么从
was
主要指标来
maintained in the
看呢，
first half of
房地产
this
市
year.
场销
In
售、
terms of
开发
major
投资、
indices,
房地产
the
开发企业的这
sales
个到位资金等主要指标呢，均
and
比去
development
年全
and
年呢出
investment
现了改善。
indices have
那么
improved
上半年
compared
呢，
with
全
last
国商
year.
品房销售面积
In the
同比
first
下降
half of this
5.3%，
year,
销
the
售额增
space
长1.1%。
sold
那
was
居民
down
人口
by
比去年的全年。那
5.3%,
么销售面积的降幅明显收窄，销售额呢也是由降转升。
and the
那么上半
total
年呢，房地
sales
产开发投资
turned
同
from
比下降
drop to
9.9%。
growth. The
房地产开
investment
发企业本年到位资金下降9.8%，那么这个降幅呢，也比去年呢全年来看呢，也
we
是
have
不同
seen
程度的有所收窄。
the drop
那么从走势来看呢，随
decreased
着经济
compared
恢
with
复向好，
last year.
促进房地产健康发展政策显
As
效，
our economy
房地产市
recovers
场呢
and
将
our
逐步走
policy
稳。
delivers results,
从需求端来看呢，
greater stability will
房
be
住不炒的
restored in
政
real
策作
estate
用下呢，
market.
投机性的住房
Under
需
the current
求
policy,
逐步得到抑制。
speculation has been gradually curbed, and the reasonable demand has been gradually released, driving development of the market. The high leverage, high debt burden model of some real estate entities cannot continue, and the supply is going through an adjustment, and market demand and market supply will be stabilized. From medium to long-term perspective, the market will turn into a stable development model. This is decided by demand and supply. Going forward, we will continue to ensure that houses are for living, not for speculation, and we will implement current policies and install long-term mechanisms to support people's needs and regulate the development of real estate market. As for investment in real estate, the newly launched construction space is going down, and the investment will continue to run at a low level, but the investment will go back to a reasonable level.
先中间吧，第3排这位女记者。
谢谢主持人，我是中央广播电视总台中国之声的记者。那我们注意到呢，上半年包括住宿、餐饮等服务行业
We have noticed that accommodation and catering and other service industries have seen rapid growth. What is the reason behind that, and what is the trend going forward?
谢谢您的提问。
Thank you for your question. Generally speaking, the growth of service sector is one of the highlights of economic growth. Since the start of this year, with economy going into normal stage and the policies effects are showing, service industries are returning back to normal in a faster pace. We're seeing a growth of new drivers, and the expectation of businesses are generally stable. Services increased by 6.4%, significantly higher than last year. Services with context and gathering needs increased. People's need for going out and dining out increases. In the first half of the year, accommodation, catering, warehouse, and other industries grew by 6.5% and 6.9% respectively, maintaining a high level of growth. Second, modern services are speeding up. Digital demand is increasing, driving industrial growth. ICT and telecommunication increase. Telecommunication increased by 12.9%. Tourism also maintained rapid growth. Commercial lending increased by 11.9% year on year. Third, new drivers are growing. And high-tech industries are developing. High-tech services income increased by 11.9%. High-tech services fixed asset investment increased by 13.9% year on year. The fourth, expectation of service industries continue to stabilize. From market expectation, the expectation in June was 60.3%. 0.2% higher than last year, maintaining in a high expansion range. And that shows that the service businesses are having more confidence in the market. The fast recovery of service industries has created good conditions for the resumption of the economy growth. It also helps the economy's growth in many sectors. Since the start of this year, we're seeing a fast growth of people's dining out, going out, and going to the movies, etc. And we're also seeing a
科技
new
创新对
business
研发
forms
等
and
高
new
技术服务
industries.
业的带动增强，线上线下
Technology
融
are
合加
driving
快，
more economic growth.
网上零售、直播带
Online
货
and
等新
offline
服务模式较快增长，为
formats
服务业
are
发
becoming
展
more
注入了
popular,
新的动力。
and these all have
总
added
的来
new
看，
driving
服务
force
业
for
恢复向好，
services.
有利于促
The
进
general
生产，
recovery in
改善
service
人民生
sector
活，
is conducive to
也有利于
people's
扩大就业，
well-being and
推动经济
employment,
稳定增长。
promoting stable growth.
下阶段，随着内需潜力的逐步释
Going
放，
forward
市场
with
信
the
心的增
unleashing
强，
of
服务业有
potential
望向好发展。
service
谢谢。
industry has
继续提
the
问。
good prospect.
好，先第一排。
谢谢主持人，我是红星新闻记者。我的问题是，请问上半
Let's
年
start
就业
news.
情况如何？能否
What
完
is the
成全
employment
年
in the
新增
first
就业目
half
标
of the year? Can
目
we hit
前
the
正
target
值
of
毕业季，
increasing
年轻人
employment
的
for the
就
whole
业情
year?
况是否改善？
And is there an improvement in young people's
谢谢
employment
您的提问。
since this is
这
a
个问题
graduation
呢，大家
season?
也比较关注。
Thank you for your
从今年
question.
来看呢，
We
整
cared
个就业
about
形势呢，
employment.
在经济回升向好，总体
As our
回升向好
economy
的态势
recovers,
带动下呢，就业形势呢总体上是改
The
善的。
employment has been
那
improved.
么具体来看呢，
Specifically,
这个劳动力市场啊，随着这个经济恢复向好、稳就业政策
The
的持续显
workforce
效啊，劳动力市场
market
趋于活跃啊，就业形势总体改善
has。seen stronger
具体
vitality.
来看呢，一个是这个就业规模的稳步扩大。
We have
上半
created
年呢，全国城镇新
more
增就业
jobs.
678万人，那么同比增加了24万人。
We have
那么城
created
镇16岁及
6.78
以
million
上
urban
人口的
jobs,
劳动参与率啊也稳步提升。
and the participation
那么6月
rate
份
of
城镇
workforce has
就业
been
人
increased.
城镇就业人数啊比上年同期呢也是明显增加。
In June, the
那么
number
其
of
中
people
批发零
employed in
售、
urban areas
住宿和
increased
餐饮
compared with
业、
this
交
compared
通
with
运
the
输
same
等行
period
业呢，
last
就
year,
业人数增加较多。
and more jobs were created in
二是
accommodation
城
and
镇调查失
catering
业
and
率下降，
transportation
二季
and
度呢
other
全国城镇调查失业
sectors.
率均值为5.2%，比一季度回落0.3个百分点。其中6月份全国城镇调查失业率
In
为
June, the
5.2%。
urban
比上年
surveyed
同期呢
unemployment
低
rate was
0.3个百分点。
5.2%.
那么就业主体人群的失业率呢，处在较低的水平。
The
6
major
月份
workforce has a
25
low
到
level of
59岁
unemployment
城镇劳
rate,
动城镇劳动力的
between
失业率呢为4.1%，
25
已经
and
低于疫情前2019
59,
年
the
的
age
同
of
期。
59.
那就业基本
The
盘保持稳
unemployment
定。
rate is lower than that
三是
before
农民
the
工就业呢
pandemic.
总体改
As
善。
for migrant workers,
那么
their
6月份
employment
也
has been
6月份呢
improved.
城镇外来农业户籍劳动
In
力的失
June,
业率为4.9%，
the
为
unemployment
今年以
rate
来较低
for
的水平。
this group was
我们也看到呢，二季度末
4.9%,
呢，
a
外
relatively
出务
low
工农村劳动
level.
力啊有18705万人，
In
同比增
Q2,
长3.2%。
the total
说明呢，
number
随
of
着这个
migrant
整个经济
workers
的恢复
increased by
那么
3.2%
劳动者
year on
进入劳
year.
动力市场寻找工作的这种意愿在增强。
They have stronger
那么就业总体改善呢，主要
willingness
一个是经济
to
恢复向
find
好。
jobs in the market.
那么上半年呢，经济增长同比增长5.5%，增速比去年呢是明
Our
显加快。
economic growth of
经济规模的扩大
5.5%
必然
was
带来市场需求
faster
的增加，带来企业用工的需要
last
增
year,
多。
and this
促进了
means
就业
that
形势总体
companies will
好转。
create more jobs
二是服
and
务业这
delivering
块
better
增长。
employment
前面谈
situation.
到的这个服务
And
业
the
呢，
service
很多面
sector
广，
also
吸纳
contributed
就
a
业的能
lot
力比较强。
by
那么
creating
今
a
年以来
large
呢，这个
amount
交
of
通运
jobs.
输、住宿和餐饮业、旅游等接触
Transportation,
型服务
accommodation
行
and
业
catering,
恢
and
复的势头
tourism
较
and
好。
other
对
sectors
就业扩大的
involving
带动明显。
contacts are recovering significantly,
三是稳就业政策
creating
显
many
效。
jobs.
今年以来，党中央
And
高
the
度关注就业
policies,
形势，各地
our
区各部
employment
门
policies are
落实落细
delivering
就业优先政
results.
策，多措并举，
Departments and
稳
localities are
存量
implementing
扩
these
增量，提
policies
质
to
量都体现，
stabilizing
加大就业帮扶助企稳岗，
employment and help
完善公共就业
companies
服
to
务，
retain
加强
and
职业技
create
能培
more
训，
jobs
为就业稳
and
定
give
创造了有利的
more
条件。
trainings
那么此
for
外呢，随着经济社会全面
employees.
恢复常态化运行，线下招聘和求职
The
也更加便
offline
利，有
employment
利于促进就业的供需衔接，
activities are
带动
held
就业的扩大。
to match
但
the
也要看到
needs.
当前就业的总量压力和结构性问题呢，还是
And
存在
we're
的。
seeing that we're still
青年人
facing
的
challenges and
求职
problems
难
in
和
terms
部
of
分行业的招
structure
工难
and
并
the
存，
total
稳
quantity.
就业呢
We're
还需
seeing
要
both
持续加力。
difficulties
那么青年就
difficulties
业
in
呢，
finding
关
jobs
乎
and
青
recruiting
年成
people.
长成才，也关乎的国家发展的未来。
Employment is very
党中央呢，
important
高
for
度
young
重视
people's
青年人的
growth
就
and
业工
future of
作，
the country.
强
The
调要
Party
把
Central
促进青
Committee
年人，特别是高校毕业
attaches
生
great
就业创业
importance
工
to
作
that.
摆得更加突出的 的位置。
and
国务院
has
常务会呢也
prioritized
对就业工作呢做出了
employment
部署要
of
求。有关部门呢
young
出台了
people
一
and
系列
university
高校毕
graduates
业生等青年
and
就业的促进政
instructed
策。各地呢也在
departments to roll out
加
a
紧地抓
series
实抓
of
细
measures
政策
and
的落实。
policies and
那下
implement
阶段呢，
these
随着经济
policies
的
to
持续
help
恢复， 用工需求继续
their
扩大，
employment.
加之稳就业政策持续显效，就业形
Going
势呢
forward,
指望保持总
we're
体稳定。
seeing
那么同时呢，随着毕业季呢，青年
promising
毕业生呢
prospect
逐步的入
for
岗入职，
a
青年人
stable
失业率呢也有望逐
employment.
步的下降。谢谢。
And as more young
请继续
people
提问。
find jobs, the unemployment rate for young
最
people
靠边上
will
第三排
continue
这位女记者
to decrease. Thank you.
好，谢谢主持人，是 CNBC 记者提问。我有3方面的问题。第一个就还是关于这个年轻
From
人的失业率，
CNBC,
就是
my first
下个
question
月
is
会
about
有
young
望
people's
回落。
unemployment.
然后第二个
Will it
在固定
decrease
资
in the
产
second
中
half of
房
the
地
year?
产投资
As
下
for
降
fixed
有所扩大，
assets, the
请问
investment
对房
in
地
real
产
estate
行业
has
增长
decreased at a faster speed.
影响。
What
最后
will
在
its impact
今年
be
上半年
on
直播
the
带
growth
货
of real estate
销量
market?
销额
And in
有
the
多
first
少？
half of this
同比
year,
增长
what
和
is
占
the
零
sales
售
of
消费多少？
streamline?
谢谢。
What is this of
谢谢您的提问。青年人的这
live
个失业
streaming
率呢，应该说
sales?
随着这个特别是大学毕业生逐步进入
Thank you
劳
for
动
your
市场
question.
从季节上，从历史上来看，
Now,
每到这个毕业季的时候呢，青年人失业率呢都
from
会有
judging
所
from
上升。
history,
那么从
the
今年的情
unemployment
况来
rate
看呢，
in graduate seasons will
那么
likely increase.
这个月呢，这个6月份青年人失业率呢是
June,
21.3%，
We have
比上个月呢继续有所提
21.3% of
高。
unemployment rate
那
for
么
young
从下个月
people,
的情况来
slightly
看呢，
higher than last
总体
month.
上由于这个青年毕业生年轻人呢集中进入劳动市场，
Since
有可能
this
还
year,
会
we are likely to see
但是
more
呢，
young
随着
people
我们
entering
一
into the
般
market and
随着这毕业
graduating.
季这个
It is
过去
likely
以
to
后，
increase,
那么随着这
but
个
with the
年轻人逐步
passing
找工作，
of
从
graduate
从历史
season,
上的这个规律来看，
and
到8月份以后会逐步的下降。
we will likely
这是关
see
于
a
青年人
decrease
的
in unemployment rate of young
那么
people
总
after
的来看呢，
August.
这个第二个问题呢，就是
And your second
房地产
question
问题
is on the real estate
刚
market.
才呢，回答前面的这个我也谈到了。
And
总
in
的来
my
看呢，
previous
今年的房地
answers,
产市场呢，
I
总体上
mentioned that
还在处于
overall
一个
the
调
real
整的阶段。
estate market is in
但是呢，
adjustment.
和去年相比房地产市
But
场
compared
逐步
to
呈现
last
企稳的
year,
态势无论是从投
the
资
situation is
无论是从
stabilizing,
这个销售还是从我们
both
企业
in
资金
terms
的
of
情况来看，
sales
都比去
and
年前年呢不
capital
同程度的
of
有所改善。
businesses. There are
那么
improvement compared to last year.
下阶段来看呢，
And going forward,
随着房地产市场逐步调整到位房地
with
产市场会
adjustment
逐
being
步
put in
地
place
企稳
in the
房
real
地产
estate
投资呢
market,
也
it
会
will
逐步
continue
地
to
回到原先的
stabilize,
一个增长的水平。
and investment
那
will
么
gradually
第三个
return
问题
back
关于您谈到的直
to
播
a
带货，
level of
我手上
improvement.
没有这个相关的
And
资料
then
会后
on
呢
live
可以
streaming,
您请
I don't
您和
have
我
the
们
data
这
with
个
me
国家
at the
统计新闻
moment,
办
but after
相
the
当
press
室联系，获
briefing,
取相关的资料。
please feel free to contact our
继续提问。
office for more information.
第二排。
好，谢谢主持人。南方日报南方家记者提问，请问副司长，您如
Thank
何
you.
看待上半
My
年国
question
内
is,
消费市场的表现？
What is your
消
opinion
费
on
对
the
经济
domestic
的拉
consumption
动
market
作
in the
用如
first half
何？
of the
预
year,
计下
and
阶
what
段
is
的
the
走势
consumption's
如何？
driving
谢谢。
force for the economy?
谢
What
谢
is your
您的提问。
assessment of its prospects
消
in
费
its
呢也
next
是
half
大
of
家
the year?
非常关心的一个问题。应该说呢，上半年呢，这个
In the
国的
first
消费
half
恢
of
复呢态势
this
向好。
year, consumption
那么今
has
年以
seen
来
a
呢，
sound
随着
momentum of
经济
recovery
社会全面恢复常态化运行，经济恢复向好，消费场景拓
as
展，
our economy
促消费政
recovers
策落
and
地
more
落
consumption
地显效，
scenarios
居民消费
are
是稳步扩
delivered
大，市场销售在加快。
consumption has been
上半年
expanded
呢，
and
社会消费
market
品零售
sales
总
are
额
growing
突
at a
破了
faster
20万亿
speed.
元，达到了22.8万亿元，同比增长8.2%，明显快
The
于去年同期。
social retail sales grew by
那么从
8.2%
居民
year
人均
on
消费
year.
支出的情况来看呢，
As
上半
for per
年全国居
capita
民人均消费支出
consumption
同比
expenditure
名义增长8.4%，
had a nominal
快于去年同期
8.4%
呢，上年
growth
同期呢
year on
5.9个
year,
百分点。
5.9
那么主
percentage
要有
points
几
higher
个特
than
点，
last year.
一是服
It
务
has
消费增长较
several
快，
features.
出行类和接触
Consumption
型
in
消费
services
增势
grew
较好。
rapidly.
那么随着各类服务消费场景的恢复，居民
As
服务消费支出增加，餐饮、交通、旅游消费增长
People's
较快。
consumption in
上半年呢，全国居
accommodation,
民
catering,
人
and
均服务性
transportation
消费支出
recovers.
同比
The
增
per
长
capita
12.7%，
service consumption
明显快于全
expenditure
部消费支出的增速。
grew
那么其中交
significantly
通支出
faster
增
than
长了
general
12.9%。
consumption. among which
上半年呢，全国餐饮收
12.9%
入同比
growth
增长了
was seen
21.4%。
in transportation
那么营
consumption.
业性客运量呢，同比增长了
Passenger
56.3%。
volume increased by
那么今年端午假期呢，国内旅游
5.6%.
人次、旅游收入
In the
分
Dragon
别
Boat
增长
Festival,
32.3%、44.5%。
the revenue for
二是商品销
tourism
售稳定增长，
increased by
升级类商品销售
44.5%.
增长较快。
Upgraded
那么在服
commodities
务消费快
sales
速恢复的
grew
同时，
rapidly.
商品消费呢也
And
在稳步扩大，特别是呢，满
Commodities
足居民发展
consumption
性
has
需求
also
的商
been
品销售
expanded,
增势较好。
especially
上半
those
年
that
呢，商
meet
品零售
people's
额同比
needs
增
for a
长
better life.
6.8%。那么限额以上单位80%商品零售额类值都保持了增长，
80%
其中
of
金银珠宝类、
categories
体育娱
of
乐用品类、升级类
commodities
商品的零售额
sales
同
saw
比分别增长
increase.
17.5%、
We have seen
10.5%。
17.5% in
那么汽
terms
车
of
等大
products
宗
such
商
as
品消
silver
费
and
持
gold
续
and
增长。
jewelry.
上半年呢，限额以上
And
汽车类商品零售额
passenger
同比增长
vehicles
6.8%。
consumption grew by
三是消费新动能发
6.8%
展壮大，
year-on-year.
绿色消费、
Green
数字化消费的
consumption,
扩大。
digital
那么
consumption
随着居民消
has
费
been
理念的转
expanded.
变，促进消费提质升级政策显效，消费新动
With
能
the
持续增
change in
强。
people's
那么绿色智
consumption
能产品的销售较快增长。
concepts
上
and
半
our
年呢，新能源
policies,
汽车新能源乘用车的
the
零售量
new energy
超过了300
vehicles
万辆，同比增长
sold
37.3%。
reached over
限额以
3
上单位
million.
低能耗家用电器、音响
Low
器材类零售
energy
额
consumption
超过
household
20%。
appliances grew by over
那么大数据监测
20%
也显示，那么
year-on-year.
618期间呢，
According to big
智能
data,
家电和音
in
响器材类
consumption festival,
商品零售额增速
smart
明显较快。
household appliances grew
那么随着直
rapidly.
播带货、即时零售等
As
新商业模
live
式的带动增
streaming
强，
and other
网
new
上零
forms
售
of
较快增
businesses
长。
grew.
上半年呢，
Online
实物商品
retail
网上零
sales
售
grew
额
rapidly
同比增长10.8%。
by 10.8%
四是文化娱
year-on-year.
乐消费潜力释放，乡
Fourth,
村市场
cultural
发
and
展向好。
recreational
那么
consumption
随着线下
grew
消费场景的
rapidly,
有序恢
especially
复，
in rural
体育赛
areas.
事、演唱会、戏剧表演等
Sports
文体
events
活
are
动增
coming
多，
back,
带动消费
and
的扩
as
大。
well as
上半年
shows
呢，
and
全国居民
performances.
人均文化娱乐支出同比名
People's
义增长
expenditure in this
38.5%。
area grew by
那么全国电影票房
38.5% year-on-year.
同比
The
增长
film
52.9%。
box office grew by
观影人次增长了
52.9%,
51.8%。
with the number of audience
同时，乡
increased
村振
by
兴稳步推进，乡村
51.8%.
消费市场
Rural
持续活跃。
revitalization
上
has
半年呢，
supported
乡村
stronger
消费品零
consumption
售额呢
growth.
同比增长8.4%，
Rural
增
consumption
长快于
grew
城镇。
by
那么乡村
8.4%,
限额以上
faster
单位的
than
化
that
妆
of
品类、
urban
金银珠宝
areas.
类的零售额增速
Cosmetics
也明显快于
and
城镇。
gold and silver and jewelry
农村电
consumption
商发展
in
的
rural
加快。
areas also
那么
grew
大数据的
rapidly.
监测显示呢，618
E-commerce in
期
rural
间呢，
areas
农村地区
are
网上零售额的
developing
增速
rapidly,
快于全部网上零售额的增速。
faster than the
总的来
general
看呢，上半
level.
年消费潜力逐步
Generally
释放，
speaking,
消费
a
恢复态势
consumption
向好，
demand
促
has
进了
been
经济发
released
展
in
和
the
民生的
first
改善。
half of this
那
year,
么从全
promoting
年来看
economic
呢，
growth
支撑
and
消费增
improving
长的有利
people's
条件较多，
well-being.
消费有
From
望继
the
续
whole
扩大。
year's perspective,
一
we
是消费
will
潜力
continue
巨
to
大，
see
当前我
consumption
国正处在消
further
费结构升级
released,
较快发展的阶段，
and China
新
is
型
now
城
in
镇
a
化稳步推
stage
进，
of rapid
乡
growth of
村振兴有
consumption
效实施，
with a new
消
type
费
of
相关基础设施不
urbanization
断完善，
and better
有利于消费
infrastructure
潜力
for
的扩
consumption.
消费潜力的释放。
This can help us
二是
release
消
the
费能力
demand,
逐步提升，今年以
and
来呢，经济
people
恢复向
have
好，
stronger
就业形势
capacity
总体
to
改善，居
consume
民收入
with better
持续
employment
增
and
加，
higher
有
income.
利于增强居民的消费
People
能力，提升消
have
费意
stronger
愿。
capability and willingness
三
to
是消费
consume.
环境继续改善，
And number three, we
经
have
济
a
社
better
会全面回归
environment
常
for
态化
people
运
to
行以后，
consume.
消费场景不断拓展，
We have more consumption
消
scenarios
费新
now
场景
as
也
our
不断涌
economy
现，
recovers,
为消费恢复增添了活力。
providing stronger
同时呢，
vitality for
各
the
地区各部
recovery of
门积极出
consumption.
台促消费政策，
We
维
have
护良好
rolled
的
out
消
a
费秩
series
序，
of policies to
有利于增
promote
强消费者信
consumption,
心。还要看
to
到以
boost
绿色消费、智
consumption
能产品消费
confidence.
为代表的新消费增长点的
Green
逐步形成，
consumption and
将
smart
助力消费
products
发展向
consumption
好。
will boost
下阶段进一
consumption
步
as
释放
well.
消费潜力，
Going
要千
forward,
方百计
we
增加城乡居民收入，
will further
继续
boost
落实好促消费政
consumption
策，
by
优化
increasing
消费
people's
环
income,
境，增加优质的消费
giving
产品供
people
给，
a better employment,
培育
improve
壮
the
大新兴消
supply,
费，促进
and
经济的
nurture
稳
new
定
types
持
of
续健康发展。
consumption
谢谢。
for a the sustained and sound development of consumption.
这边吧，
Thank
第一
you.
排这位男记者。
好，谢谢主持人。环球时报记者提问： 我们注意到今年以来这个投资的
Global
增速
times,
是
we
连
have
续放缓
noted
的。想
that
请问发言
in
人，
this
这其
year
中的主要
the
原因
growth
是
of
什么？
investment has
整体
slowed
看，
down.
您如
What
何
is the
看
reason
待
behind
上
that?
半年的投资数
And
据，
what is your
以及
assessment
未来
on
这
the
个
investment
这个
data
投
in
资
the
增
first
长
half
后
of
劲
this
是怎么
year?
样的？
And
谢谢。
what will it look
谢
like
谢
going
您的提
forward?
问。
Thank you.
投资呢也是扩大内需的重要领域。
Thank you for your question.
那么今
Investment
年以
is
来
also
呢，受到房
important
地产市
for
场调整的
expanding
影
domestic
响，
demand.
不动产投资增速呢是有所放缓。
Impacted by the real
但
estate
各地区各
market,
部门呢深入贯
investment
彻
in
落实
fixed
党中央
assets
决
slowed
策部
down.
署，积极扩大有效投资，优化投资结构推动
But
重大基
we
础设
have
施建设，
been
支持
acting
企
to
业增加
implement
创
the
新投入。
decisions made by
固定产
CBC,
投资
Central
呢保
Committee,
持了
and the
增
State
长。
Council,
那么上半年的固定资产投资同
and
比增
have
长
maintained
3.8%，
growth
投资结
in
构继续优化，
investment.
重点领域的投资呢在继续加强。
Key
一是
investment
基
in
础设
key
施投资
factors
较
are
快增长，
strengthening.
各
First,
方面积极推
investment
动交通、
infrastructure is
水
growing
利等
fast.
重大基础设
We're
施建
promoting
设成
investment
效日益
in
显现。上半年基
education
础设
and
施投
other
资同
key
比增长
infrastructure
7.2%，
projects.
其中铁路运输业、
72%
水
increase
利
was
管
saw
理
in
业
the
投资
first
分
half
别
of the
增长
year.
20.5%和9.6%。那么新兴基础
And
设施建
investment
设呢也
in
稳步
real
推进，为经济社会
infrastructure
长远发展
and air
奠定良
infrastructure
好的
was
基础。
20.5%
上半
and
年新兴基础设施
9.6%.
投资同比
In
增
the
长
first half of the year,
16.2%，
new and
其中
infrastructure
5G、数
investment
据中
increased
心
by
等信息类
5.2%.
新兴基础设施投资增长13.1%。
And
工业互联网、智慧交通等融合类新型基础设施投资增长
investment
34.1%。
in integrated infrastructure
二是
was
制
grew
造
by
业投资持续增长，
4.1%.
制
Second,
造业升级发
investment
展
in
态势明
manufacturing
显，
increased.
资金技术密集行业的投资增长较快。
Investment in
上半年制造业投资
technology
同比增长
intensive
6%，
industry increased
其中装
rapidly.
备制造业投资增长
Manufacturing
14.4%，
investment increased by
对制造业投资增长支撑作用
14.4%,
明显。
supporting the
那么制造业
investment.
绿色转型步伐在加快。那么对于新能源、
There
新
has
能源
been
汽车、锂
transition
电池制造
towards
等
green
相关行业的
development.
投资保持较快的增长。
Investment
上半年的汽车制
in
造业、
batteries
电
increased
气机械
rapidly.
和器材制造业投资同比分别增长20%和
Investment in
38.9%。
mechanical
三是创新投资增势较好。
sectors
那么以
increased
高技术
rapidly.
产业和
Third,
技术服务为代表的创新投资持续增加，
innovation-driven
对投资的支撑作用较
investment
强。
increased.
上半年高技术产业
Technology and
投资同比
innovation
增长
had a good
12.5%，
supporting effect for
明显
investment.
快于全部投资增长。企业技术服务需求扩大，也带动相关行业的
Businesses
投
have
资
more
不断增
demand
加。
for technologies.
上半
This has
年
also boosted
专业
investment.
技术服务、科技成果转化服务投资
Services and
同比分别
transfer
增长
services investment
51.6%
increased
和
by
46.3%。
51.6% and
四是新兴领域投资在扩大，
46.3%.
随着这个经济数字化转型的持续深入，
With
相关
the
投资呢保持较快
digitalization
增长。
going forward,
那么上半年的
we're
电子及通信设
faster
备制造
investment
业
in、digitalization.
电子商务服务
Digital
投资
service
分别增长
investment
14.2%和
increased by
22.2%。能
22.2%.
源的绿色转型在加快，清洁电力
Green
的投资
development
在
of
增加。
agriculture have
上
also
半年
sped up.
清洁电力投资同
In
比
the
增
first
长
half year, investment
44.5%，
in
其中
green
太阳能
battery
发电
increased
投
by
资增长84.4%， 风力
42.4%.
发电投资增长
Wind
16%。
power increased by
那
16%.
么这些情况表明，尽管受
All
到
these
多
have
重因素的
shown
影响，
that
今年
despite
投资
multiple
增长有所
factors,
放缓，但
investment
投资结
increase
构
is
持续
slowing
优化，
down, but the structure of
对未来的
investment
发展支
is
撑稳步
becoming
提
more
升。
optimized, and it will
下阶段
further
要继续
drive
发
economic
挥
growth.
政府投资
Going
和政策
forward,
激
we
励的
will
引导
continue
作用，
to
有效
let
带动激
government
发民间投
policies
资，
take more
持续优
effect
化投资结构，
and
提升投资
optimize
效益，推动
investment
经济
structure
高质量发展。谢谢。
and advance
继续提
high
问。
quality economic growth.
好，先第一排。
谢谢主持人。中国财经报记者提问。今年我国开展第5次全国经济普查，
This year
能否
we
请
are
您
having
介绍
the
一下目
5th
前的工作
National
的进展
Economic
情况？谢
Consensus.
谢。
Can you brief us on the
谢
work?
谢您的提
Thank
问
you.，
也感谢您关心经济普查工作。
Thank you
那
for
么第
your
5次全
attention
国
on
经济普
economic
查呢，是
census.
在
The
我
fifth
国开
national
启
economic
全面建
consensus
设社会主义现代
is
化国家新
launched
征程上
as
的一项
we
重大的
start
国情
on
国
the
力调
new
查。
journey of building
那
a
么7
modern
月7号
socialist
呢，国务院
country
召开
in
了
all
第5次
respects.
全国经济普查
On
领导小组
7th
第1次全体会
July,
议
we
和
have had
全
the
国
first
电视
plenary
电话
session
会
of
议。
the leadership group
那么
for
对
the
经济普查工作
census.
呢，再落实 时再部署。
And we have made
进一步做出全面动员。
on the
那么各
census
地区各有
and
关部门呢，
mobilize
认真
relevant
落实会议的
stakeholders,
精神，
localities, and
通力协作，
departments
密切配
to
合，
work
全力推
closely
进第五次全国
together
经济
to
补
move
偿各项工
ahead
作。
with the
那么下
census.
阶段呢，经济补
Going
查
forward
工作的重点是单位清查。
The key
那
task
么单位清查
for
的目的是摸
census
清我国境内 从事经济社会活动的
is
各类
to
法
get
人
the
单位、
basic
产业
status
活动单位
on
以及从
all
事
the
第二产
legal
业和第三产业活动
persons
个体经营户
and
的基本
those
情况和
involved
分
in
布状
second
况，
and
准
tertiary
确界定第
industries,
5次全国经济普查的对象和种类，
and to try to
明确地
identify
方普查机构与
which
相关部门的
entities
普
are
查登记
included
责
in
任，
this
确
census,
保普查对象类
and to
型
make
界
sure
定准
that
确，普查
stakeholders
单位不
know
重不
their
漏，为后
responsibilities
续的各
and
项
that
经
there
济
is
普查
no
工作奠
overlap
定基础。
or
那么单位清查呢，是保
entities
证
that are not
普查
covered.
登记顺利实施必不可少的重要基础性工作。
This is a
依据
very
单位清
important
查结
basic
果
work
形
we
成
need to
普
do to
查单位名
ensure
录
the
与个体
accuracy of the
经
census.
营户
We
的调
will
查
forge a
样本
list
名录，
of
明确普查
entities
对象填报
for
普查表的
samples,
种类。可以说，
as
普查清
and
查工
also
作
the
呢，关系到
categories of
普
forms
查工作
that
的成
entities
败。
need to fill in.
那么单位清查的对象呢，是我国境内从事经济社会活动的全部法人单位、产业活动单位，以
This
及从事第
survey
二产业和第三产业的个体
covers
经营户。主要
all the
方式呢，是由
individual
县级普查机构组
businesses
织普查员
involved in all sectors.
使用手持
At
电
the
子终端
county
设备
level,
进行地毯式的
the
上门逐一清查。
investigators will
分类
visit
填报
relevant
清查表。
entities
那么清
to
查工
ask
作呢，
them
主
to
要
fill
包
in
含包括
forms.
普查员的选聘和培训、普查
We
区的
will
划分、
train
编制清查底册、
our
地毯式清
employees
查、数据审核等几个环节。
to
那么
go
时间
through
呢是今
all
年
the
的
key
6月份
links,
到12月份，
including data
其
review.
中重点的是地毯式清查，主要
It
是在今
will
年的
last
8月份到
from
10月份开
June
展。
to
届时呢，会有
December,
佩戴普查员证和普查指导员证的
and
普查人
those
员呢
with
上门采集
certificates
清查的信息、清查表的
will
信息。
visit
那么借此
relevant
机会呢，
entities to
也
gather
恳请
information
广大的
and
清查对
data.
象呢，
We would like
支持
to
配合清查入户工作，
request for
提前准
your
备相关的证
support
照，
to
及时提供真
prepare
实准确的信息。
for relevant
那么这
certificates
些信息呢，仅
and
用于普查的目
provide
的。
relevant information
各级普查
accurately
机构和
that
普查
will
人
only
员
be
将
used
会
for the census.
对提供的信息呢严格保密。
We
那
will
么让我们携手
ensure
起
that the
来，
information
共同做好
remains
单位
in
清查工
strict
作。也感谢大
confidentiality.
家对经济普查
We
工作的大力
thank
支持。
your
谢谢。
support
继续提问，
for the census. Thank you.
先第一排。
谢谢主持人。每日经济新闻记者提问。我们注意到，尽管面临外需收缩的风险，今年上半年我国外贸进出口规模仍然
contracting
创下
external
20.1万亿元的
demand,
新高点。
the
能
imports
否
and
分析一下
exports
原因？
still
那么
hit
对
a
于下
record
半年
high.
的外贸
What is the
走势，
reason
国
behind
家统
that?
计局如何
And
预
what is the
判？
estimation for foreign trade in the second
谢
half
谢
of the
您的
year?
提问。对于外贸，
Thank you for your
大家呢
question.
也比较关注。
This is a question
那
of
今年
wide
以来
concern
呢，
as
世界
well.
经济复苏乏力，主要
Global
经济体
economies
为了抑制
recovering
高通胀、收紧货币
sluggishly,
政策，
and
加剧
major
了全球需
economies
求的
are
收缩。
tightening
那么全
their
球制造业
monetary
PMI 的
policies.
这个新出口订单指数呢，持续位于收缩的区间。
And
那么全
the
球
global
贸易的低迷
PMI
呢，
for
不可避免
export
会影响
and
我国的进
import
出口增长。
maintain at a low level. So
那
this
尽
will
管存
have
在
some
压力呢，
impact
但我
on
国
China's
外
import
贸
and export.
韧性强、活力足的特点明
But
显。
the
在
features
稳
of
外贸的
high
各项措施作用下，
resilience
上
and
半年我国
capacity
进出
of
口的
China's
规
import
模
and export is unchanged.
突破了20万亿。
In the first
那么
half,
货物进口总额达到了
our
20.1
export
万
import
亿元，创历史
exceeded
同
20
期的新
trillion
高。那么同
and
比
hitting
增长
new record
2.1%。
high.
那么其中出口增长3.7%。
Export
那么占
increased
全
by
球出口份额的比重
3.7%.
出口份额保持了总体
Its
看
share in
保持
global
基本稳定。
export maintained
那
stability.
么下阶段呢，尽管外需收缩的压力
Going
持续，
forward,
但我国
despite
外贸呢
pressure,
仍然有望顶住压力，全年实
our
现促稳提升
foreign
的目标。
trade will also have the
一个呢
prospect
是这个
of
我国生产供给的能力比较强，
maintain
我国
stability
产
and
业体
improving
系完
quality.
整，配套较为完善，
First reason
产
is
业
that
组
we have a
织能
fully
力和
fledged
供应链
industrial
韧性
system
强，
in
为
China.
外贸发展奠定了坚实
So
基
the
础。
industrial
那
foundation
么
is
从上半
well
年情况来
led,
看呢，我国的
is
传
well
统
laid
出口产品呢
for
继续
China's
保持
import
增
and
长。
export.
上半年我国机电产品出口额同比增长
Electrical equipment
6.3%。
import export
20高水
increased
平
by
开放的成效不
6.3%
断
year
显
on year.
现，我国坚定
Second,
不移扩大对外开放，在
policy
互利共
effects
赢
is
基础上
showing.
扩大
We
同世
are
界各
committed
国的
to
经贸
reform and
往来，
opening up
推动共建“一带
and
一路”，
facilitate trade
推
with
进
all
自贸区建
countries
设，拓
and
展
the
外
building of
增长空间。
FTAs
上半年，我
and
国
expanding
对
of
一带一路
the
沿
space
线
of
国家
foreign
的进
trade.
出口增长
Our export and
9.8%。
import increased
我
by
对于非洲、
9.8%
拉
with
丁美洲
Belt
进
and
出
Road
口增
countries.
长分别增长10.5%和7%。30外贸新增长点逐步形
Third,
成。
new driving
随
force
着我
of
国产业升级发展，
import and
新
export
产
continue to
品市场
emerge.
竞争力稳步提升，成为推动外
The
贸增长的
competitiveness
新的
of
亮
our,
点。
of our products
上半
increased.
年以电动载人汽
In the
车、
first half of the
锂电
year,
池、太阳能电池为代表的新三样出口，同
solar
比增长
cells
61.6%。 同时，跨境电商等外贸新业态较快发展，也为外贸提质扩容创造有利条件。还要看到各地区各部门积极实施外贸稳规模、优结构的各项措施，帮助外贸经营主体积极应对外需的收缩，紧抓市场机遇，稳定进出口贸易。上半年我们看到这个民营企业进出口同比增长 8.9%，
providing a good
总的
support
来看呢，
for
外贸增长有
stabilizing
压
foreign
力，
trade.
但也有不少有利
So
条
generally
件。
speaking, we're
下一
facing
步呢，要
pressures,
落
but
实
there are
好各
also
项
good
稳外贸政
conditions.
策，
We need to
力
continue
促
to
实现
implement
外
our
贸
foreign trade
促稳
policies
提质的目标。谢
and
谢
hit our target of stabilizing growth and
时间
improving
关系，我们最后2个问
quality.
题。
In the interest of time, we'll have 2 more questions, please.
My question is about wages. So wage growth was about 5.8%, I think, which is slightly faster than GDP, but it's still not back to the pre-pandemic levels of above 8% expansion. How will that affect the sustainability of any consumption recovery? And how do you expect that consumption will grow faster than GDP when wages are basically only growing as fast as GDP? Thank you.
请翻译一下。
彭博新闻社提问：上半年的工资增长率是5.8%，刚刚大于 GDP 增长率，但是远没有恢复到疫情前的8%的高位水平。那么在这样一种情况之下，工资增长还没有达到消费增长，我们如何会期待消费增长率需要大于 GDP 增长率呢？如何会实现可持续的消费增长率的提高？
谢谢您的提问啊，您所谈到的这个工资增长
Thank you for question. As for wage growth, I think you mean the increase of residents' income. We had a 5.8% increase in that.
应该说呢，还是保持了一个较快的增长。
It is a relatively rapid growth. Before the pandemic, you mentioned the nominal growth. The 8% was nominal growth, not the real growth. As for this year, as the Chinese economy is shaking off the impact of COVID-19 and experienced recovery, employment is expanded and people's income is increasing. In the first half of this year, the per capita disposable income increased by 5.8%.
说明呢，我们的这个收入在稳步扩大。对于消费的拉动
This
会逐步的
drives
显现。
the growth of consumption as the total economic circulation continue to be smoothened. Going forward, this underpinning or driving force for consumption will continue to grow.
那么上半年最终消费支出对经济增长的贡献
The
率达到
consumption's
7.2%。
contribution reached
下阶段我们觉得
77.2%
对
to
于消费
economic
来讲，我们
growth.
还是保持啊，我们会看到这个消费对增长的这个拉动会持续的显现。
We
那
will
么
see
中
a
国来
stronger
看呢，我们
driving
正处在消费结
force
构升
by
级快速
consumption
发展
for
的阶
economic
段。
growth.
那么收入的增加，
China's
消费环境的改
consumption
善，
is
都有利
being
于促进
upgraded
消
and
费的这个
expanded.
持续扩大。对于
We
带动
will
整个经
expand
济迈向
consumption
高质量发展，会发挥更加重要的作用。
by providing a better environment
最后一个问
to
题，
further drive economic growth.
第二排
Thank
这
you.
位男记者。
谢谢主持人，我是澎湃新闻记者。上半年我国规上
The
工业企业
paper
利润
in the
持续
first
2位
half
数下
of
降。
this
那
year,
么
the
请问
profit of
规
industrial
上工业企业
enterprises
承压
has
的
seen
态势何时能有
a
所改观？
double-digit
那么
decrease.
国家统计局对
How
下半
will
年的
this
走
trend
势有什
be
么样的预
changed,
计？
and what will it look
谢
like in the
谢您的
second
提问。
half of this year?
工业运行呢，今年来说呢，是在整体上在稳步恢复。
The industrial
工业
operation
的
is
发展
generally
跟
recovering,
这个企业的效益这个联系紧密。
and it has a close
那么从今年
relation
来
with
看
the
呢，随着市
profits
场
of
需求的逐步
businesses.
恢复促进
With
做
the
优做
market
向实体
demand
经济，促进产业
recovering
升级、转型升级的各项措施显
and the
效，工业生产
policies
总体上保持
to
平稳增长。
upgrade
结
the
构的优化，
economy
新动能的逐
showing
步壮大，发展质量的
and the
提升。
growing in
一
growth
是工业生产逐
drivers,
步
we
恢
are
复，
seeing good
上半年呢，
results.
全国规模以上工业增加值呢，同比增长3.8%，比一季度呢加快了
First,
1.8个百分
the
点。
profit,
那上半年在
the
41个工业大类行
output
业当中呢，
of
有
businesses
26个
above
行业实
designated
现
size
增长，
increased by
增长面
3.8%
呢
year
达到
on year.
63.4%。 在统计的620种主要工业产品产量和
Among the
工业产品
620
当中，
main
有
industrial products
331
being
种产品
surveyed,
实现了增长，增长面超过
331 products registered
20
growth.
产业升级的在稳步推进，
Second,
工业
industry
生
is being
产
upgraded.
技术密集程度在持续的提高。上半年呢，装备制造业增加值同
There
比
is
增
more
长
technology
6.5%， 高于规模以上
intensive
工业增速 2.7个百分点。
operations.
对全部规模以上工业增长的贡献率达到了 53.9%，
Its contribution to
有力的
overall
支撑了工业
industrial
的生产
growth
恢复。
was
那么其中电气、机械和器材制造业、
50
汽车制造
over
业增加值
50%.
同比分别增长 15.7% 和 13.1%。三是高端制造业增长较快
Third,，high-end
随着航空航天发
manufacturing
展
is
向好，
increasing rapidly.
国产大飞机实现商业航行，带动作用在逐步增强。
With the
上半年呢，
C911,
航空航天器及
919
设备制造
commercial
业增加
flight
值同比增
having
长
its debut, we are
22.9%。
seeing a good
那么各
prospect
方面
in
加
that
强半导体等重点领域
sector.
关键环节的技术攻关，
We
相
have
关
made
生产也是高
breakthroughs
速增
in
长。
key
上半年半
technologies
导
such
体
as
器件、
semiconductor
专用设备制造业、
and
电子元器件
specialized
及机电组件设备制
mechanical
造
engineers
同比分别增长
parts
30.9% 和 46.5%。
have also seen increase in their production.
四是绿色转型成效显现，
Fourth, we are seeing
新能源
progress
汽
in
车
green
行业发展向
transitioning.
好，
New energy
带动相关
vehicles
产品较快增长。
sector is
上半年的新能
increasing.
源汽车产量同比增长 35%，
It has increased by
锂离
over
子动力电
30% in the
池、
first
充
half
电
of the
桩
year.
等产品产量同比分别增长
The
46.4% 和
production
53.1%。
of solar cells
清
and
洁能源
luxury
行业相关
batteries
产
are
品
also
较快
increased
增长。
rapidly.
上半年光伏电池、
Clean
风力发
energy
电机
production
组、
also
水轮发电
increased.
机组产品产量同比分别增长 54.5%、48.1% 和 32.3%。五是智能型、新材料等新产品
Fifth,
生产向好，
smart and
智
new
能消费产品
energies are
生产增
increasing.
长较快。上半年智能消费
Smart and
智能消费
consumption-oriented
设备制
products
造
are
增
increasing
长
in their
12%，
sales.
其中智能车载设备、智能无人飞行器制造分别增长 36.3% 和 12.5%。
Equipment
新
increased
材料
by
供给增加。
12%.
上半年太阳能工业用
In
超
the first
白
half of
玻
the
璃、
year,
多晶硅、单晶硅产量
the
分
silicon
别增
and
长
the
89.1%、86.4%
glass
和
used
54.1%。
in different
关于
industries
您关心的
increased
这个工业企业利润的问题，
by
应该说
over
呢，工业生产的
80%.
持续恢复为企业盈利呢改善奠定了基础。
So this has laid a good
那么前5个月
foundation
规上
for
工业的
the
利润降幅
increase of
呢，
profits for
1至4月
businesses
份
in
收
the
窄 1.8个
industrial
百分点，
sector.
连续4个月改善。那具体表现为呢，一个是装备等制造业的利润持续恢
We're
复。
seeing the profits
前
in
5个月呢，
equipment
这
continue
个
to
促进
recover.
制造业发展的各项
In the
政策
first 5
措施显
months,
效，制造业利
the
润降
policies
幅
in
呢
this
1 到
respect
4月份收窄了 3.3 个
showing
百分点，带动规模以上工业利润降幅呢收窄了2.5个百分点。
and
那
the
对工业
drop
企业的利
in the
润改善发
profits
挥了重要的作
decreased.
用。其中5月份装备制造业利润
In
同比
May,
增长
the
15.2%。
profit in
连续2个
manufacturing
月保持
increased
2位
by
数的增长。
15.2%.
二是电气水行业利润快速增
The
长。
profits in
前
electricity
5个
and
月
water
电力、
industry
热力、
increased
燃气
fast.
及水的生产和供应业
The first 5
利润
months, the
同比增
supply
长
of these
34.8%，
resources
比
increased
1到
by
4月份加快 0.7个百分点，
13.8%,
持续拉动工业企业
1.7
利润的
percentage
增
point
长。
higher than Q1.
当前的
continue
工业
to
生产稳
drive
步恢
the
复，
profits.
发展质量继续提升，但工业产销衔接水平还有待进一步的提高。
At the current
下阶段
stage,
尽管
the
存在一定的困
quality
难，但是随着
in the
经济恢
industry
复
is
向好，
continued
市场需
improving.
求扩大，创新发展动力增强，
Going
新动能成
forward
长壮大，
with
促进工
more
业
new
发展政
drivers
策措
coming
施
into
落
the
地
picture,
见效，
with more
工业经
policies
济恢复
taking
的基础
effect,
将不断巩
the
固，
foundations
工业
for
企业的盈
industrial
利状况
recovery
有
will
望
be
继续
more
改善。
stable,
谢谢。
and
谢
we
谢
we
领会
will
司
have a
长，
greater
接各位记
prospect
者
in
朋友
that
们，今
in
天的新闻发
industrial
布会就到这里，
profits.
大家再见。
Thank you for your question. That is the end of today's briefing. Thank you.